Hello, everybody, and welcome to Shave or Dice. My name is Will. I'm a D&D sex icon, and I'm back today, the full cast and crew of Shave or Dice for another game. We have with us Dave from Nerdarchy. Dave, how are you?
Excellent. I'm excellent tonight.
Good, good. We also have Jim Davis. How are you, Jim?
I tell you, I'm so great. But
We can't even make it for the bit.
I can't even make digital eye contact.
He said I. That was all he got out I, and then he just lost it.
I say.
I'm gonna eat my parsnip.
Good idea. We also have John from PRUITT back with us tonight. PRUITT, how you doing?
Oh, well, I'll play your game, Rogue.
And that's what I remembered my dazzling deviant, Cody Lewis, from Taking 20. And, of course, we have some sponsors here today. So, here to talk to us about sponsors is Dave. Oh, Jonathan Pruitt from Nerdarchy. Was that a hand raise I see there?
Well, I don't mind doing the sponsors because it gives me a chance to keep talking like Sean Connery. So, remember Fantasy Grounds. It is your virtual tabletop of choice. Tonight we're going to have some maps, probably made on Dungeon Painter Studios, over at pyromancies.com.
Amazing.
I think that's it.
And let's hand over to our dazzling deviant for tonight.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, back to Savor Dice. We're so thrilled to have you joining us. Gentlemen, when we last left off, the party had continued to make their trek over the Howling Hills on their journey to C-elysee. There was a pretty rough and tumble fight. Some additional information was gleaned from Rothillian about a building army in the Shadow Vale, and a quirky druid riding an owlbear made some acquaintances with you guys. When you arrived at C-elysee, at the enormous, beautiful elven city built into the tree, you guys were eventually taken to the local authority figure who would probably treat you poorly, only to find out that it was, in fact, Grathgor, campus's father and councilman here in, or council elf, if you will, here in C-elysee. After divulging some more information and exchanging some pleasantries, you guys found out that there is, in fact, a nearby portal to C-elysee. And fortunately, the elven magic has been able to keep the ever-growing sticky icky taint of the Shadow Vale captured and contained, if you will. That is when a book was discovered with the word Aradi on it from the message you guys received from Rothillian, seeing a gleaming sword holding figure standing over an army of black onyx-skinned warriors. And that, my friends, is where we will pick up. With you inside the council chambers to Grathgor with this bit of information.
It was just revealed that he's related to our newest member, right?
It relatively soon.
That's
correct.
my dad.
Yeah.
Wait, so your dad's like one of the head honchos here?
Yeah, that's right. So he is. Not sure if we've talked about this or not.
No, you failed to mention that. That's fine. It's fine.
He did say his dad was rather important.
Well,
He
yeah.
said how important?
I mean, everybody's dad's important to him, right?
Yeah, I guess that's true. But he did say he runs a lot of things like the city.
Indeed, I am a council member here. So, the question is what should we do with this? And he kind of points over to Roscoe with the sword device, since it has been brought here to C-elysee.
Well, sir, I think we need to get in there and see about expunging your taint.
It is something I look forward to.
Mm.
Having this taint expunged.
Always
I mean,
gotta
we do have
sponge it.
experience, so I think we can get to it. Now, you
My
did
cousin
say-
Roscoe, he's the best.
It would be
Yeah.
a mistake to sponge it. But to
Oh no, we don't want to
expunge
clean it. I mean,
No.
we do want to clean up the place, but
Right, but not in that way. You don't want
Right.
to go in there with a squeegee, cleaning that
No.
taint. That's
No, no,
risky
no.
business right there.
need a Brillo pad.
Now I've got your marigolds, at least.
It is my hope that you will find company capable and able to aid you in this journey. The weapon that was sent along with this initial group was a powerful wand of sorts, but I am afraid that without having heard from them in a while, I am curious to find their fate and what has befallen them. Though it is our understanding that there is a significant time difference in other realms, so perhaps it is no need to concern at all.
Yeah, we
Time zone
just
problem.
spent a day one time and lost 6 months.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was pretty bad.
it might take them some time to get back.
I will take that as good news. As for you and your journey, what would you need to prepare?
You have any salves we can take with us? We tend to get banged up a bit.
Of course, healing aids would be easily enough for us to come by. Other
Do you
than
have
that,
a
I
magic
assume
wand or a magic bow? Like where I can shoot people real good at it.
he
for
kind of
hands.
looks over and he kind of looks over at you and kind of like cuts his eyes.
Or at least some arrows, maybe. Give him some arrows. He's really good with that bow.
Arrows.
Yeah.
He really is
kinda-
a savant.
Yeah.
And you've seen this with your own eyes. Yes, you said
Oh,
such earlier.
Yeah, yeah. He is a savant in a manner of speaking, definitely.
Trolls, Kenku, all manner of things we've seen
All
him
manner.
kill.
No, he saved my life, like literally just now, not yesterday.
Campus son, if this is
Me
true,
too.
I would be ashamed of my station if I did not relent to you what is rightfully yours by blood. Of course, I will release Oakenhammer.
Wow. What's Oakenhammer?
And he kind of looks over at you. Anything else that you need, please let our associate know. And he kind of bows. And on the way out, you'll be leaving in the morning.
I
At
guess.
sea, PRUITT, rest the night, set out early.
Yeah.
Then we will make it so. Enjoy C-elysee. And he leaves.
Campus, what's the nightlife like here?
Oh, I have no idea. I haven't been here in like 10 years. But I imagine things do live around here at night. So we could go see what's alive.
No, what about this Oakenhammer? He
No
said
idea
that
what
quite
that
a bit
means.
of
Some kind of
gravity.
hammer. I look towards his aide. What does that mean?
It's your family's bow, so to speak, a weapon that's been passed through lineage. Not very many times because of how long you guys live, but theoretically, it is your birthright. Your father has been more than reluctant to hand it over to you over the past few centuries in your time here before you left C-elysee.
Where is it then? I look towards his aide.
where is it then? Do me a favor, Will Jones. Give me a wisdom check. Just give me a wisdom check, bud.
Oh boy.
Just wisdom.
This is actually a plus one. Oh, there it is, 9.
+9. Okay, cool. Yeah, great nightlife here. Not lycanthropes at the base of C-elysee at all.
It's just
It's just
great.
a wonderful nightlife.
They don't even have werewolves. They don't even have normal wolves.
And so you guys for the most part, unless there's anything very specific that you want to do, you can spend time kind of walking the tree and taking in the scenery, looking around C-elysee, meeting the folk, having, having supper and kind of experiencing the outer glow inside this giant dome on the bottom half of the tree trunk, the enormous tree trunk here. But you guys will be treated well. Everybody seems kind of on edge a little bit. As far as rumors go about the few elves that came back that they had been trying to cure up, if you guys are interested in checking in on them, they seem to be doing okay. A few of them are still there and kind of it looks like it's kind of pulling back and they're kind of going through sweats and they're kind of like tied down and stuff like that as they're kind of experiencing this really rough magical withdrawal, if you will, of this particular cure. But is there anything other than that very specifically that you guys are looking to do before you depart?
Elven wine and an elven tree seems appropriate before we head on out. Huell, cousin, Roscoe, you haven't taken any vows recently, have you? We should probably at least have one glass of that elven wine.
Well,
It's very good, I hear.
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to keep clear-headed, but I mean, a glass couldn't hurt. But as we're walking around, Roscoe, having talked to Campus a little bit and seen his acumen with the bow, maybe ask him a few pointers or whatever, and Roscoe's going to kind of make that his next kinsight weapon is the short bow.
Okay.
So he'll look around and try to find a nice short bow to strap on his back and be another weapon to use in the fight against evil.
Nice. Is there a potion vendor or the like here?
You guys are given some aid. You find kind of waiting for you back in a, if you can call it a roof, the room that you've been given is actually like an open leaf that can kind of fold up to kind of create a little bit of a large cup. But the leaf is so strong and sturdy that it easily handles all of your weight. And there's even some furniture here to kind of make it comfortable. What's interesting about it is that because there's no dome on it, like y'all are just out kind of in the open air, but the tree is so enormous, sprouting past and extending past what the kind of hole, if you will, in the ground, that this trunk extends down into the Underdark regions, that, you only have the kind of soft, subtle blue glow of the fungi around this particular dome. And as you guys make your way to this room, you actually see 9 little bottles laid out for you. What's interesting about them is that 5 of them you look at them, you're like, this immediately, yeah, this is a healing potion. This is a potion of healing, and those are going to be cure light wounds or cure wounds. And then the others you will kind of test a little bit, and they seem to be potions of invisibility.
And there was 4 of those?
Correct.
Is there anyone around to talk to about these?
Yeah, I mean, what information are you trying to discern?
Oh, Huell's interested. Do they have a potion of flight? He's like,
potion of flight.
Yeah, you got
high or low?
We'll go low.
They do not, sir.
He walks away disappointed. He's like, elves,
bastards,
all the big folks.
You got
right.
the room.
We got a leaf that folds up on itself, cousin. And Huell starts setting about summoning his home. Every time it's a little cozier. I like to think there's more like knickknacks and things that he just leaves stuff in the hut. When he summons it, he's like, oh, that forgot that's where I put it.
Yeah, absolutely. So the morning kind of comes, and it's kind of hard to tell it's morning from down here, but you can begin to see. It's almost like the dome is barely bringing in like an additional kind of yellow tone to it, if you will, more than it is actually lighting up, to let you guys know that in fact it is dawn at this point. And so you are left with a few instructions. The mist walker that had been previously accompanying your father has come back, and he has told you that there is a boat waiting for you at the base of the pool of water surrounding the great tree.
All right.
Is there
Nice tree right there.
I'm just gonna assume you guys are gonna head down if that's
Come
that's
on. Must be great down there.
I mean, are you coming with us or
Sure.
what? I
He
mean, well,
says-
not not campus. I thought it was assumed that you'd be coming, but
Yeah, you're part of the group now.
Misty Walker.
he kind of shakes his
that
head
guy.
and he says, "Oh no. You'll have a guide, a river guide, if you will, Onus, and he will take you to the portal."
Oh, well, excellent.
The portal's in the river.
It is below.
Below the river.
We gotta go underwater.
Not necessarily. There is a bit of a break, if you will, is my understanding. I have not visited it personally, as I am more of a servitory role. And he, kind of like puffs his chest out like he's got a very important role. But the reality is he's just your dad's like right hand guy that he's like, hey, go do this, hey, go back in this and stuff like that.
Head lackey.
Head lackey is a good way to put it. And
He administrates the assistance of your father. Yeah.
yeah,
Sure.
absolutely. And so, are you guys going to just go ahead and head down?
Yep. Getting in the boat.
Yeah. So you
Everything on the
guys
boat.
you guys are brought over to a long, a big wicker basket that is made sort of from bits of bark. It almost looks like this been woven with additional bits of the leaves that have sort of been folded upon each other and tied to an enormous rope leading far beyond where you can see up high in the branches. And in a matter of moments, you can feel there's a couple of pulls on a side rope, and then you begin to lower down into past the tree trunk. You're lowering down further and further and further. This is probably about a 600 or 700 foot drop down to the base of this tree. And as you are continuing to descend down, you can start to see the additional lights in fungus, specifically on the plateau that the tree has kind of got its roots sticking out of, which extends, pretty far and wide. But as you are continuing down and seeing the additional fungus, you realize that it's very purposefully organized. And the reason it's organized is because there are buildings, there are huts and little small constructed places to sleep and whatnot down here at the base. As you set foot actually on the ground, the path kind of goes down further, and it's got this nice, clean kind of roped off section. And it's really strange because where the basket dropped, there's obviously room for several of these baskets to kind of fall down to the base of the tree, but it sort of has it's like roped off, if you will. It is like kind of roped off and hugs all the way to where the tree trunk actually is, and it leads away from the buildings and from the little huts and the little tents and stuff like that. As you continue down, you make your way and you see a dock, for lack of a better term. If you could call it a dock, it's kind of the strangest structure you've ever seen because it looks like one enormous piece of wood that has been carved to resemble a dock with tie-offs rather than actually like a dock that has been built out of wood. It clearly has come from a large branch or something like that from this particular tree. And sitting at the edge is a leaf boat created from the tree with a kind of a bright-haired woman, female elf, that is sitting there. And as you guys kind of close in on her, she has more of this fungus laid in, and she's actually holding up like a torch with this fungus just stuck around and on it. And she kind of motions you down. Oh, you must be the travelers. I am instructed I am to take you to the portal.
Are you Onus?
Indeed.
I guess it's on you then to help us out with this river thing.
That was just amazing.
Well met, lady.
She kind of smiles and smirks at you. Indeed, it is.
Take us to a portal. I mean, I thought you guys were making this stuff up. I didn't think you were actually going to take us to a portal.
And so she kind of like flicks her little robe off dismissively and just kind of hops into the boat. Are you coming or not?
Yes.
in the boat.
Yes.
Yeah.
They really are all about these leaves here, huh, cousins?
It is a great resource. And she's kind of smiling.
Do you use them for everything?
For most things, yes. There is smaller bits of wood and of the element that we can seek out in our forest, but it does make it quite convenient. They do grow and wilt every year, of course.
What, do you have to do something special to make it so strong? And I kind of like squat down and start poking the bottom of the boat with a finger.
Yeah, it's incredibly thick and hard. It reminds you of that glossy armor that you saw the elves wearing when they first greeted you outside of the city. And she's like, indeed, it goes through a process. And she's kind of digging in her bag and pulling things out. And you see her pull out two little jars. And inside the jars, it looks like there's a couple of like little lights and stuff like that. And you see her, while keeping the jar still corked, she blows on the outside of this jar, and you can see the light inside just explode with like hundreds of these little things all around, and they're kind of flying around, and it looks like they are fireflies or lightning bugs or something along those lines. She uncorks it and kind of raises her arm out wide, and these things begin to encompass the boat and create a little ring of light around you guys. She pulls another jar out, and it has a little piece of meat, almost, it looks like. She takes it, she throws it in the water, and then suddenly you guys can see the boat like kind of pull and snap, and you realize that there is something, maybe a crocodile, maybe a large fish. It's kind of hard to make out in the dark, still water, begin to pull with these two ropes connecting to the front of this boat. They kind of pull up and out of the water that you guys didn't even, kind of realize was there whenever you guys showed up.
Hey, thanks, Emofo, for the super chat. Happy Wednesday to you guys, too.
Oh, snap. We
Happy
appreciate it.
Wednesday.
I will go over to where she's standing with those reins and kind of like lean over to try and look in the water.
It looks, the easiest way for me to describe it, Dave, is that it looks like two enormous orange catfish or koi fish, something along those lines. You can kind of see them peeking up out of the water just a little bit.
Oh no,
Cousins, you got to see this.
no, I'm good.
No, remember Farmer Front, he had that pond. They had fish just like this. Well, they're a lot smaller, but I can't believe it.
Right, they used to bite me all the time. Fish hate me. I'm not getting anywhere near those things. They could swallow me whole.
I don't know. They look kind of friendly.
I'm
Campus,
sure
are
it's
these
just
so friendly?
fine, cuz.
I'm sure it's just fine for
This
me to
one
sit
likes
here.
me. Look. See?
Have you never seen the Laguna fish before?
Yeah, have you never seen the Laguna fish before?
I think I've seen little ones.
Yeah,
I mean,
I've seen smaller ones,
Yeah.
I mean, they are, of course, omnivores, so they eat smaller fish and smaller people sometimes, but, they are very trainable, and they provide quite an assistance to us to keep me from wearing out my arms.
Cool, cousin. Can you do that thing that she did with the lights? That looks
there's a great many things that I can do, cousin, but conjuring a simple light is not one of those. You see, tinder and fuel are readily available, and why use magic? What nature provides for itself.
You only say that stuff when you can't do it.
Now, I find, cuz that is just a low blow.
Yeah, Dr. Hill, he doesn't do that. He doesn't do that all the time.
You're probably right, cousin Roscoe. He probably doesn't do it all the time.
No. and then I untie Braso's shoelaces with my mage hand. That's what I do with my cantrip.
As you guys are having this conversation, Huell, you actually see Onus kind of like making eyes and like watching this conversation. You see her kind of smirk through this little bit. She's clearly intently listening to you guys.
Mm-hmm. Now, Onus, are you just going to take us down the river to the portal, or are you accompanying us through the Tari Gateway?
Oh, I am not the type to accompany you into a apparently another realm.
Can we sail the boat right through the portal?
It'll be fun. Come on. I'm going to these guys. I barely know them.
I have seen the portal before, and I don't believe that would be possible.
What do you mean?
Till it's on a bit of a rocky patch, if you will.
So the portal's on a rocky patch, and it's only 4 of us that can go through. It's a 4er. Can't get in a 5, not a 5er.
Not
Not
a
bad.
journey that I very much envy you for.
Are there? You kind of get a concerned look on my face. Are there rapids or something?
No, there's not rapids. There's, of course, a waterfall that we must go through, but I don't know. And she kind of trails off.
Whoa. that
She's
sounds
really
cool.
enjoying, like, kind of like
Mhm.
freaking you guys out.
Stand firmly, bare feet firmly planted on the shore. You know, I mean, a waterfall? Are you gonna? What, does this thing fly as well?
Something like that.
That sounds interesting. How long is the journey?
Oh, it's not terribly far from here. It'll
Huell's like
about-
secretly disappointed by that. He wanted like a nice Sunday afternoon on the out in the rowboat kind of.
As you guys have been having this conversation, you realize that the fungus kind of outer glowing around in this big dome, the water is leading closer and closer and closer to like the wall. You're already kind of getting close to the edge of the wall, and you realize at the very bottom there is a little crevice that is going to take it in sort of a cave route through, and you guys begin to enter in. As you do, of course, all of the, like almost instinctively, all of the lightning bugs that have been kind of encompassing the boat begin to form and narrow down long and extend out further, giving you guys a little bit of vision, a little bit more vision ahead of yourself. You didn't see her make any type of magical commands or anything like that. It's almost like the bugs had a mind of their own. And so as you guys are continuing along this path, you guys are making small talk with Onus, and soon you can hear a growing louder and louder and louder and louder, and you realize, oh shit, there is a waterfall coming up. As you begin to approach, you're 100 yards out. You're 75 yards out. And it is opening up into a sort of more lit up area as well, but it doesn't have the sort of blue cyan tinge to it that the fungus was giving off. It looks much more like daylight is kind of pouring into this area. And, you know, the waterfall's coming up on you guys, and the water's starting to pick up, and you guys can see the opening of the mouth, like you're just going to drop out and fall into nothingness. And as you guys get ready to make your way and kind of crest out there, you see the 2 enormous Laguna fish jump out, and they kind of and give a couple of big flaps and extend these huge wing-like structures, almost kind of like a flying mantis, if you will, but they do seem to be quite functional for this. And they sort of give it a couple flaps, and then they begin to glide as you guys have picked up speed, and for some reason they glide out and open, and as you move in, suddenly you can see all around into another enormous cavern here. There is a huge couple of sets of light beaming down from the outside and in above ground into here, so you can see, you know, the water, and in front of you is the portal. It's very obvious, sitting out on a large set of land much akin to kind of how the enormous tree from C-elysee was. You can see a bright, glowing portal, but unlike the one that you guys saw in Permath, it is not emanating a purple radiance because it has been completely covered in a green, glowing dome that seems to have several giant leaves and trees planted around this thing, interweaving almost like a spider web-like structure around it. It's visible enough to you that you can literally see the portal sitting there open behind this, and the ground underneath is rotten and black and pure raw black energy around this, but it doesn't seem to be spreading beyond this large containment magical field.
Now this is what your magicians threw up, did they?
It's just amazing.
Farmer's fish didn't do that for sure. I've seen a portal before, but I've never seen a fish do that.
Yeah, I'm not a fan.
Man, I've been to fish fries, but I don't ever think I've seen a fish fly.
I haven't seen either of those things.
Cousin
I'll
Ross,
take you
I'm
to a
sorry,
happy
please
fish
do.
fry one day.
Well, that's true. Now, I'm curious about this portal and the energy field around it. And is Onus like? Does she know anything about it?
She's not really being able to give you guys any information. She just seems to be enjoying her job. I know it sounds really crazy, but she just seems to be like, this is what she loves to do. The fact that this portal's popped up it's beyond her. She's got nothing to do with this. You know, the elders and the council, they're gonna figure what's going on here. She doesn't really seem to care much enough about it to learn more about it. She does tell you, however, that she was part of the several boats that had to take a group of elves here very recently over here to the portal. And of course, she has she was one of the, not the very first person to discover the portal, but when the portal was discovered, she also had to help shuttle some of the wizards of C-elysee, the magic users and casters, and the elder council over here so that they could take part in this and she was in what she calls a 3-day ceremony.
Are there any guards around here right now?
They're not. This seems to be an empty cavern.
They leave they're awfully confident and leave their magic just unguarded like that. I'll just wait till whenever she lets us off then.
Yeah.
Yeah, in a matter of moments, you guys have kind of the fish have kind of glided and touched back down into the water. They're very strong, and this boat is kind of moving pretty quickly here. And so, in a matter of moments, she kind of pulls up over to the kind of to the side here, and she lets you off.
I look to the river and then look up the waterfall and then look back. So, how them fish get back up there?
And she smiles. They are much stronger than you realize, without so much extra weight.
Stronger than gravity?
Roscoe looks at all three of the
Stronger than water?
We're not even 100 pounds wet between three of us.
And so she throws another piece from her jar out, and boom, they start gliding along and taking off back towards the waterfall.
Yeah.
Cousin Roscoe, I think you're right. This fish could have ate you at any moment.
No, I'm not taking my eyes off them until they're gone.
Oh, they were each bigger than the entire canoe that they were pulling.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know they could fly. Farmer's fish never float.
All right. Well, now we just got to walk.
Yeah, well.
Roscoe begins backing towards the portal, keeping his eye on the fish.
So we just walk through portals? Is that what we do?
Well, normally you just walk through them unless they got a key or something like that. But
okay.
I'm curious how we're supposed to get through this barrier that they've erected around it.
Yeah, she said it was a bit rocky or something.
Well, I mean, she didn't give us any special instructions, so I would assume that we can probably go through it this way, but getting out might be the issue. I'm not sure.
She was vague at best.
very vague.
But that's what my people are like.
Well, you know, they
Quite
just
cryptic.
live too long, quite honestly.
That's exactly what my dad said about me.
Thank you, Bully Sticks Gaming, for this chat.
Ooh, we appreciate the love.
Not going to be able to stay long. Just happy to catch you guys live for a change. Thanks for inspiring my home game. You're quite welcome. I want to go up to the barrier and kind of like just poke it.
When you stick your finger in there, it goes right through, almost like there's nothing there. It doesn't even feel like there's any resistance.
I don't know, lads. I can finger it like nobody's business. No problem at all.
It's very cold when you finger it, Dr. Hill.
Oh,
It's
Dr.
very
Hill.
cold.
Are we not better than
It
this?
hasn't been warmed up.
I know you got plenty of experience
cold.
doing that kind of thing in college, but if we could just enter the portal, do we have everybody has protection right before we go up in here, right?
I'm watching these softballs just go by, and you guys like, give them to me.
Well, I mean, when you're going in a portal, you don't want to have softballs either.
The thing shouldn't be cold.
Sorry.
All right. Fuck me. All right.
I'm going to just hop through the.
Dave, you really caught me off guard with that one.
You go right through it.
Yeah, Roscoe goes ahead and follows his cousin.
Much like in Permath, the tar, Dr. Hill, the tar that when you kind of step in, it is kind of thick in like you kind of soak into it a few inches. When Roscoe follows you in, it dissipates.
You still got the touch, cousin.
Yeah, that's good. You still gonna take point, Roscoe?
Oh yeah, and he pulls out Sin Silver.
I like hold my boots up to Sin Solar to like wash, like you're washing them off from a hose or something.
Absolutely. Just it's like a heater, man. You just get a little close to it with that tar from your boots, and it evaporates into nothingness.
Sweet. Well, gentlemen,
Move on in.
I mean, I guess I'll go in as well. What I got to lose at this point?
Come on, campus.
come on, campus.
Okay, I'm coming. And I like put my toe in first.
But we have
like
a
it's a hot bath. Yeah.
As you step through here,
Fingered nothing before.
as you step through here, you enter into a much more lit up area. Roscoe, it's much more lit up because it's open. You find yourself out in a darkly clouded area, but it is an open sky above you. You're no longer underground. And you find yourself sitting on a sort of kind of rocky formation, much akin to the one that you climbed onto prior to leaving your mortal realm and into the Shadow Vale. But surrounding you is not the still water of the previous world, but rather a bubbling and wispy and things kind of sliding around bog. You find yourself completely surrounded in a bog. It almost feels like you're in the middle of the ocean. The only large piece of land or structure that stands out to you is in front of you, way off in the distance, is a mountain.
Mm-hmm.
And that is standing up far enough and breaking the line here from this sort of swampy bog that it's really the only thing that you can see. As you turn behind, it's just the vast, to your left, to your right, just a vast openness.
We should have brought that boat with us.
Right?
Well, we got the next best
yeah,
thing.
that's
And
true.
Roscoe pulls the broom out of his pack. Like,
That's like a flying boat.
yeah, it's a flying vessel of some sort. Sure.
Sure.
Huell, do you please tell me that you prepared the spell we need to do what we need to do right now? Do you have levitate?
Oh yeah, of course. Yes, I do. And Huell will levitate campus so we can drag him
Now, Campus, you just hang on.
Okay. I'll just.
Tie a rope around his waist, and like whoever's in the back, hang on to it. And I'll say the word to get the broom to lift off, and we'll load up. Roll 4 deep on this.
And in a matter of moments, a particular strategy, which you guys are accustomed to, has you zipping along this bog. The smell here is overwhelming, and it feels a little bit of an icy wind kind of blowing across the top of this with no trees or anything to really give it, to break the wind at all or anything along those lines. Please don't. Just please don't. And
just left it there.
Let it pass just like that.
Let it pass.
So Roscoe will actually pick up, like, get some elevation to try to get away from the bog a little bit. Plus, he doesn't trust anything he can't see through, so he doesn't know what the hell's in the bog that could jump out and try to grab him out of midair. So
yeah, you raise you guys up safely high above, and you kind of have like a bird's eye view. And if you, I assume, are traveling towards the mountain, it's a pretty easy journey. As you continue along, there are some things in the water down below, swirling little blips and stuff, but you guys are so high by purposefully trying to avoid anything or any creature that that might be dangerful to you. You guys can see all that stuff, but you're really safe high, flying up here far away from the bog.
It's already better than the last portal. No dead things walking around.
Yeah, no
that's
liches
very
waiting
true.
on us.
That's very true.
Vampires.
No wolves in trees. No tree wolves.
No tree wolves either.
Those are bad too.
Yeah.
Tree wolves.
Yeah, they are.
So this mountain in the distance, is there anything flying around it or defending it?
Not that you can see. You notice that as you kind of get closer to this mountain, that it begins to take the rocky terrain around it begins to become more in view. And the mountain isn't pressed right up against the coastline rather than just being, a few miles in. And so that you actually see some different rocky hills and different types of terrain as you close in and close in and close in. But as you get closer and you're kind of breaking through the fog and all that, you can see the purple glow off in the distance, a very familiar purple glow off in the distance, shining like a beacon, calling you to it and letting you know pretty much exactly where you need to be.
That looks like where we might need to go, guys.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a bit more familiar.
That's a glowing symbol right there. On my map.
It looks like this, and he has the sword out and
whoa,
holding it up like it's Shadow the
that
Colossus.
does look like that.
And the sword in Campus, his sword is beautifully stunning here in the Shadow Veil. It is clean and crisp, and it has this amazing purple gem built into the hilt that is giving off this sort of lit up by purple fire glow, and it is just completely different than the sword that you saw in the previous realm.
This is that's so colorful. I like that a lot.
Perhaps
like
we
all the
could
colors.
not have the beacon out just now. I mean, is there any kind of natural light here? You said we could see for a great distance. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
So it's overcast.
Gotcha.
Right. So it feels like day, a dark day, but it's overcast for you guys here. So you once you get out of the kind of swirling mists of the bog, you can see a little bit better here. Though I mean, it's still damp and cold and windy and all of those things and depressing. It's like Seattle kind of.
I've never been, but Huell's going to tell Roscoe maybe we should not have the beacon out just now.
You're right. He's gonna sheath it back.
I'm
Concerned.
concerned.
Concentrating on flying.
I liked it.
There's usually, didn't they also say that like the lich, whatever his name was, or the vampire maybe said something about things would be attracted to these beacons.
Yeah,
or
Al.
something. Maybe I'm misremembering. Who knows?
I wasn't listening.
Well, I mean, campus, you weren't really there.
You weren't
Oh,
really there.
I definitely wasn't listening then.
Yeah, this is
that's
before
very
you.
true. I was
Before me. Wow.
out of sorts for most of the time last time we were here, so it's fuzzy for me. Let's carry on towards the beacon.
Not only did he say things were drawn to it, he specifically said it caused undead.
And it made them mindless and the like. So where are they all?
Cool.
And he was concerned about going near it, and he seemed pretty powerful.
Yeah.
Well, there might. Who knows what the hell's in this bog? I mean,
Yeah.
How terrifying is
tonight.
Cody's face, right?
All right.
As you guys make your way kind of above the terrain, once again, you can see that sort of familiar black tar forming. Right? So once again, that black tar. So it looked like the black tar literally extended out and down and into the bog and spread that way all the way to this portal. And so up ahead, you guys can kind of come over a couple of rather large hills that kind of bring down into a crevasse here at the base of this mountain. And depending on how close you guys want to get, I mean, how close are you getting to this thing, Roscoe?
well, as we're approaching the mountain, I'm gonna be like, "Where do y'all want to sit down?"
Someplace dry.
Yeah, maybe not too close.
Yeah, I'm gonna look for a nice open spot in order to
Nice and out in
sit
the
down.
open.
In essence, what you have here are kind of two big hills pushing up against the side of this mountain, kind of creating a little valley. And then at the base of the mountain is what looks like a perfectly cut in stone like structure. It's kind of hard to see from back here, but it looks as though there's dirt and rubble all around the base of it. And it almost looks like there are big chunks of stone nearby the doorway, and the doorway is totally open. There are no doors for this doorway.
Okay. Well, then maybe we should just sit down on one of the hills near.
Yeah, just chill out on the hill. Fuck could go wrong.
Plenty of. We can see in all directions.
Yeah,
so,
you could light the beacon, and then be the beacon down a hill.
well,
That'd be really easy to find us. In case anyone wanted to come say hi.
Yeah.
we'll put a pin in that, and we'll come back to it. Don't worry.
I've got some pins if you need them. Like, go into my like long hair and like throw out pins.
I'm glad you have that. We might need that to mark things later.
All
Or
right.
pick a lock.
Or pick a lock. Yeah, you can pick locks, right?
No.
Well, at least you're prepared if you ever want to try.
Yeah.
I guess.
And yeah, we'll sit down and then begin. I guess start heading towards the doorway.
The doorway. Yeah. Yeah. Is there a clear path between the place where we can sit down and the doorway?
Yeah. I mean, it just looks like over these two black tar-covered hills leading down into the doorway. And as you guys kind of head down...
Mage armor.
Yeah, I got you. As you... And what are your two portents, Jim
5
Davis?
and 2.
5 and a 2. Those are beautiful portents, actually. As you guys head down, you can see more and more of this rubble coming into view, as you close in on it. And eventually, you're noticing that there's two different types of rubble down here. There is the kind of chalky stone that is peeking out that hasn't been covered in black tar. And then there is also this sort of like black, shiny onyx rubble. And the black, shiny onyx rubble has dusted the entranceway here. Totally and completely surrounded it. Along the edges of the door, there is no tar. Along the like actual outside the frame of this walkway, and you realize very quickly that slathered along the side of this archway is blood. It's clearly blood. The spray pattern to you is immediately recognizable.
Oh no.
What do you guys think that stuff up there is?
I think that's probably elf blood.
Doesn't look very welcoming.
The remnants
no.
of your people.
That's the best kind of blood.
I mean, that's the other thing. If they just got here, just came in, we might be entering in the middle of whatever it is they stirred up.
You
They
guys,
just
you guys could have been a little more gentler with them. You didn't have to go right with the elf blood.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's okay. It's my favorite kind of blood.
What? Okay.
There you go.
Okay. That's not gonna argue with that. I'll look back between his cousins.
Halfling blood's my second favorite.
Oh god.
Roscoe's a little worried about that last sentence.
Uh-huh.
Have you seen my ex-wife Doris?
Oh god.
The
We brought him back. All right. So,
It's me, Grindlebrew. I'm
It
back.
was. I mean, you weren't
Whoa.
possessed, but since you brought it up, you are now.
yeah.
I love it. Like Gregor shows up and possesses campus.
Uh-huh.
Oh, campus.
Well, Huell's got his wand out just to, in case things get dicey. And he's in his other hand has his elemental lantern.
Okay, yeah, start moving in, heading in that doorway.
It's going to take a while to kind of crawl over and step over all of this black rock. It's so strange to see. And as you kind of crunch along in, you make your way into something that looks kind of familiar to you at this point. It looks like another temple. It looks very similar to the Temple of the Blue Rose
Oh no,
in its structure and construction.
I don't like this.
Cousin, your folks, they've been dropping these things all over the place.
Well, yeah, apparently. I'm just wondering which came first. If we like emulated these and they were made first, or you know what I mean. Maybe we made them and they were
I
corrupted.
mean, honestly, elves probably made him first.
Well, I mean that's more than likely, but halflings have been known to put their hat in the ring of architecture and changing the. Oh yes, it was probably elves.
It's usually a lot smaller.
Probably elves.
Yeah,
Halfling
probably
contribution more cultural than monumental.
It's true, but we can make big things too.
As you're having this conversation, your lantern catches a figure slumped over nearby.
Yeah.
Huell's lantern. It's like he has the green screen and he's like, nah, it's cool. I'm going to draw this with some paper.
The last time I tried to use my green screen, you guys shouted in horror.
It did
Let's see if it
become
works now.
Very
See?
Oh,
This
no.
is what you get. I'm happy to leave this up.
Okay.
Are you proving your point?
Yeah, I got to mess with my lighting.
It's about lighting the screen, buddy. That's all right. We all got to learn.
I just want to say, Emma made it work the whole time. She was pretty good with it. Had some cool cosmic
Yeah,
stuff.
it worked. It worked just fine.
Him also doesn't have the beard, right?
Just fine. No.
Light refracts.
Yeah.
His beard absorbs all the light. Like a black hole of beard.
Huell, yeah. So, I mean, I'm figure standard marching order.
You
Yeah,
look
Roscoe,
over
take
and
the front.
this figure appears to be a deceased elf from C-elysee. It has the very traditional elvish armor, cloak, weaponry, and it has several pretty gnarly cuts digging into this particular armor into his abdomen.
Caution, cousins. Remember, last time we were here, things didn't stay dead.
Laying,
No, they
he's
sure
kind
did.
of what's
Didn't stay not moving anyway.
What's interesting about him is that he is slumped over and he appears to be holding something in his hand, a bit of parchment, but he's very purposefully clutching it. You think it's pretty obvious that he's holding it high into his chest as he's kind of slumped over.
You think that's a letter for his sweetie?
It could be.
Undoubtedly.
Maybe it's his last will and testament. I mean, the elves live that long. They got a lot of stuff to, hand out.
Sure.
We do.
So Roscoe will go up and like try to see if he can get the letter out of the clutch of this elf.
Yeah, so it's a letter. It's pretty obvious, and I will let somebody read it if they'd like to.
Sure. Roscoe picks the letter up and looks and I am dying. Even now I can feel the black cold of this empty realm overwhelming me, pushing me to paranoia as a last cruel torment to accompany me to my grave. But I do not fear. To whoever finds this letter, know that I am writing. I am as much writing to keep my sanity as to come to grips with my soon passing, as I am to fulfill my duty to beloved C-elysee. Jasaria is dead. I watched her fall, but she died a warrior's death, commanding our battalion fiercely as we were ambushed and cut off from behind. As we made our way to the temple with the Osirian wand, we saw them surrounding us like a black sea, warriors with onyx skin that broke but didn't bleed. We couldn't get through the door. It wouldn't open. As they closed in around us, we formed ranks, cutting down hundreds, but there were thousands more. Then we saw him, riding a winged beast. Its scream filled our hearts with terror. We should have stood fast, but that scream, we could feel it in our bones. We couldn't get the door open. Eventually, we started to fall one by one, and like a cascade, it was over. When Jasaria fell, Brawler turned and threw his fury at the door. It was with a thunderous boom, but then the Onyx men, they didn't even hesitate. I hurled myself through the entrance, but they did not pursue. I waited for them to follow, but they did not come. I do not fear death. I will let it come for me in grace. I hope this reaches C-elysee. Please take me home, so that I may give back to the great tree for the centuries it gave to me. Jasaria fell. We couldn't get the door open. Signed, Yonbril.
Sometimes I can't get doors open either. There's no shame in that. I once spent 20 minutes looking at a door just to see if it had any traps on it, and it didn't.
Also, you have to make sure, if a door is supposed to pull, you don't push on it, and vice versa.
Right. I learned that one the hard way.
Yeah. Difficult to master at times. Well, I mean, I don't have a spell that can take him with us, so maybe we'll have to get him on the way out.
That's what I was thinking, cousin.
But yeah, and Roscoe will walk over to campus and be like, well, maybe as the representative of your people, you might want to bear this letter back.
That's a good idea.
At least we could take that.
I'll take it back to my dad and see if he wants it.
Would I examine the wounds?
You're going to examine the wounds? I mean, they look like they were just like a slash or a cut.
Okay, so it looks like a blade.
It looks like it gives you the appearance of a blade. You don't need to make a check for that. It's pretty obvious. But he is of course wearing his armor. The armor is kind of probably dented up, but he's still got cloaks, he's still got boots, he's still got other stuff on him, and he also is carrying a pretty nice looking elvish blade. You guys didn't see any elves out in the rubble. There were no bodies when you guys came in here. There was nothing.
I wonder if
also no.
I would search the guy.
Talk about a door.
And he mentioned that wand in his letter. I wonder.
Yeah, I'm looking for that.
Too.
We can look for that wand.
You won't find a wand on him. You will find a very nice longsword. It's actually a +1 longsword. I'll let you in on that.
Whoa.
And then he will also have a set of elven boots and a cloak of elven kind as well.
Well, Campus, do you want this sword?
Yeah, to use a longsword.
Well, to be honest, I just got this bow from my dad, and I'd feel bad if I didn't use it, you know? Apparently it's like a family heirloom or something, and I should probably get to using it. I'm not all that grand of a sword, to be honest. Unless no one else needs it, in which case, it'll do better than this one.
In front of you guys lies a set of doors, much like they did with the Temple of the Blue Rose.
I will take the longsword and strap it to my back just in case.
Yeah.
Probably looks like a bit of a great sword.
It's pretty big on you, but you certainly can carry it.
I mean, technically, Roscoe has 3 long swords
Do you need another?
for my golf bag.
Just load it up.
Carrying those. Like, if I mean, here's the thing. Like, I have a longsword if no one else uses it, and it's probably just Roscoe, right? I'd imagine. Then,
Yeah, I'm
then
good.
I'll take the longsword because it is
Okay.
an improvement on mine.
Yeah.
It is the beautiful matching alongside with that sort of leaf-like green sheened armor with bits of gold flecked in. It's got the same kind of thing going on with the hilt here as well. So I mean, it looks stunning,
Nice.
but you know, it's a longsword for a bunch of halflings.
Nice.
But those that cloak and those boots, should probably take those too back to his kin.
Okay.
Everything is going to make it back except for him.
He just loot his body and
Just
throw
like-
him out of the
It's like Skyrim. All of his loot is just suddenly wearing on
Wearing
canvas.
Do you want to pay your fines or go to
Yeah.
jail?
I am
So,
sworn
gentlemen.
to carry your burdens. Sorry.
Somebody steal your sweet roll. I run a Skyrim D&D game. It's just filled with memes.
Yeah.
So many
carry-
knees,
I put
arrows
all
and
of the
so many
wheels of-
knees.
Just those
All the way
NPCs walking like this in fucking Morrowind.
I get on my horse and ride up the wall.
You're sneaking in the back of a building. Suddenly, this big fucking pterodactyl's like attacking you from nowhere. You can't. You're just swinging aside. I get it. So you have this door set in front of you, much akin to the ones that you guys saw at the Temple of the Blue Rose.
Okay. Move up to it and give a listen at the door.
Listen in.
You hear nothing.
All right. Does it look like try to push the door? Try to open it.
It opens up.
I almost wish it was trapped. That makes me scared.
Yeah,
Almost.
then you know you've got to worry. The first one isn't trapped. That's when the traps really start trapping you.
In this room, the lantern, if Huell's lantern it will provide any light here, you kind of see a few columns set up here kind of in the middle of this room, and then it seems that there is a tiny little black figurine sitting pretty far up, about halfway in the room, and it's just sitting there in an otherwise dark room.
A figurine of what?
You can't really tell from this distance, but it looks like a little tiny figurine of something, maybe an animal of some sorts.
Like a knick-knack or something?
What?
Huh. That doesn't look ominous at all.
That's a little
Yeah.
creepy now, isn't it?
So which side of the door did they say they couldn't get in or out? It was locked. What side were they on?
Yeah. I don't
Maybe they
know.
were locked in.
Could be locked in.
Or maybe they were locked out.
We only did see one body.
Yeah, that's true.
Is there a blood
Or-
trail in here?
Wait, no.
There is not. Also, you will notice that the black tar is not inside the temple.
Well, that's a good sign, at least. It's clear in here.
Clear. All right.
Yeah, maybe they cleared them all out. So wait, where was this figurine?
It is literally on the floor, straight in front of you, halfway in this room, sitting squarely in the middle of the floor.
Huell, can you magic eye that thing? Can you, do the thing, look at it?
Oh, if we got time to sit down, I'll take a look at it. But I don't, take a minute.
Can
What's that?
What if you picked it up with your?
Well, I can certainly pick it up. Huell Magicus.
Before you do that,
buddy?
before you do that, it's not a duck, is it? It looked like squint at. Make sure it's not a duck.
It's not a duck.
It doesn't look like a duck.
All right.
It's my range. The range on Mage Hand's 30 feet.
Nah, it's 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55. It's 50, 55, 60 feet inside the room.
Oh. And it's further out. We'd have to get inside and get closer to it. But
Campus, can you cover him with your bow and I'll go up with you, Huell.
Yeah. I'll get my bow up and I'll
Get it.
point in. If anyone comes, I'll shoot him. Dead.
The whip and the short sword. How is this the same like gloom in here? Or are we seeing strictly by the lantern?
You're seeing strictly by the lantern in this room.
Okay.
You do remember that you were able to see a little bit better in the Temple of the Blue Rose.
Yeah.
But this room does appear to be pretty much pitch black.
All right. I will quickly cast Dark Vision upon myself.
Okay.
nice.
And yeah, Roscoe will
You now have
slowly start moving in.
disadvantage, but you can kind of see.
Yeah.
All right.
And Roscoe will pull out Sense Over. Does it shed some light in here?
It certainly does. And Silver, as you move really into the room, I think I just moved the same token twice. There we go. It will light things up a little bit better in a more even fashion than necessarily the bullseye lantern that Huell is holding. As you guys move in, just like Temple of the Blue Rose, locking you in place.
Oh no. Maybe they were locked in.
I bet that they were.
Easily.
Everybody prepare yourself.
Mm-hmm.
For what?
For death.
Oh. That's scary.
Fuck out of here.
Yeah.
I'm all right. I'm all right. So,
All right. Prepared.
popping up, just like last time, the same form of ghost warriors.
There it is.
They seem to be standing steadfast and not making any motions or saying anything.
Well, cuz there's your people again, but it didn't go so well last time.
No, not really. But
One.
And is this like this? Is it just like the Blue Rose? Or are they like dressed in the uniform of the keepers and all that? Like the same?
Correct. It is like practically identical.
Okay. Well, cousins, I mean, last time we tried to talk to him and nothing happened.
I
and we had
could
to-
shoot him if you want.
Well, I mean,
we might.
we'll get to
Yeah.
that. But
Okay.
here, that's the thing: is it might not work. I mean, like,
I mean, if it didn't work before, is it gonna work this time?
well, I mean, we killed him. It was a hard fought victory.
Well, maybe we take the first strike this time, you know?
And we didn't have the sword last time. We were trying to get it. We already got it, so
That is true.
Should be fine then.
What happens when I like just hold Sense of Her up, like near, like in front of me?
They don't flinch. The purple light kind of glows softly on their face, but they are just kind of.
And if I remember last time, when we moved towards them, then they would move towards us, right? They would kind of mirror our movement, or am I misremembering something?
When you move towards them, they sort of jumped into action, but they didn't necessarily mirror you.
Okay.
And is that object a figurine in between them?
Mm-hmm. Is it?
It is directly in between them.
Well,
I don't see any way around it. Last time they seemed pretty
Yeah.
intent on thwarting us.
well, I mean, gotta let me at least just try, and I'll just kind of bellow out. I'm Roscoe 3 Stone, keeper of the law. Stand down, my brethren. Even in death, hear my words, and know my. I don't want to fight you. but I will, if necessary. And I will set you to rest, and I will set things right. And Roscoe, after making his plea, will take like one step into the room, closer to them.
As you step, they pull out long swords.
Damn it.
And you hear one in the back. He goes, Braso no banda, Roshi. And as he says Roshi, black smoke begins to billow up from this figurine in the middle of the floor. And it is billowing up, 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 and you realize it is enormous. As you stare down, a creature with big folded over ears covered in a woolly-like fur with two long tusks and a long snout that kind of curls around, and it is huge. Let's go ahead and have everybody roll initiative for me. So actually, Roscoe, you don't. Huell, you don't. Campus and Braso, you guys need to, please.
Okay. Whew. Initiative, yeah.
Please, sir.
That is 9.
Perfect.
9.
All right. So that brings us up quite fittingly so with a 30 initiative. 30 initiative is Roscoe Threestone.
Jesus.
How the fuck did I get a 30?
I don't know, but even if it's off a little bit, you're still way ahead of everybody. So
I have a plus 4.
I don't know why that's a 30, but that's why I kind of was like,
Do you have a
what?
feat?
Roscoe looks at Sensover like, what the fuck can you do?
I'm so fucking high.
I can see through time and space.
I can see my birth and death right now.
Cousins,
Runs
they
into
have
town.
an elephant.
Okay, so
Has anybody seen an elephant before for their characters?
I don't know, but it's an elephant.
It certainly
I-
does
I
remind
think
you
I've
of an
seen
elephant.
pictures.
if you did
I
one.
think I've seen pictures if I haven't seen one in person.
Okay.
No, I've never seen one.
It
Now, I've seen a few monster books that you study in order to turn into them, but I've never seen an elephant.
Yeah.
thing is terrifying.
All right. So Roscoe, they call out Roshi. This figurine has billowed into this enormous creature. And they kind of blasts out with this, trumpeting sound, and you're up.
Okay, so
Let's see if we can
the nearest guy to me is probably one of the guards.
That's about
There
all I
you
got.
go.
bud. All right.
There it is. There's
Go
a
for it, man. Can
soundboard.
you got your token. You can go for it.
Okay, wait, hang on. Which map do we have up? 6-1?
6-1.
Ah, there we are.
Mhm.
Aha. Okay. Okay, I don't really like running right up to a freaking giant monster though, but I'll move up to this guy
Go for it, man.
and let's start dealing some damage. See if I can actually drop this stuff correctly on here. So, oh, the halfling one.
That halfling one. Why don't you re-roll that for me,
Go ahead
buddy?
and reroll that. Mm-hmm. Thank you very much. There we go. Turnabout is fair play. So with the first strike, he's just going to come in with Sense of Her, striking across the legs for 11 damage with the first attack. Second attack, he's going to follow that up with a punch on the inside of the knee. This combo's worked pretty well for him in the past. Boom, bitch. And since I rolled a 20 there, I am going to go ahead and spend a key point since I got this new one with the blade thing. Oh, wait, shit. I punched him. Never mind. I can't do that. Because I can add a damage die like a paladin smite.
Sweet.
So there's further 9 for a punch, and then I'm going to follow that up with yet another punch. So a 14 to hit. Does that hit?
The 14 does hit.
Oh,
Actually, you know what? Hold on. Wait. The 14 does not hit. I'm
Okay,
sorry
never
about that.
never mind.
Yeah, 14 does not hit.
Okay, so yeah, 2 strikes. And
All right. So you did how much damage with Sense Over?
With Sin Silver, I did 11.
Okay. And then how much with your strike?
With the punch, I did 9.
Okay. Much like last time, you seem whenever you connect with that punch, that follow through, you can it just feels like it just was devastating. The sword, as magical as it is on this realm, didn't seem to have as much effect. That brings us down to Huell. Huell, what would you like to do, buddy?
Well, so there's this thing and that thing and then the other. I think I am going. Huell's going to take out his wand that Rothillian gave him. And where's my token at? There he is. He is going to scoot right here and blast the one that Roscoe's fighting.
Yeah, go for it, buddy.
Scorching Ray. Where's my wand of Scorching Ray at? Here we go, bad boys. Boom. First one. That's a halfling one. Or no, not a halfling one. That's a regular one. But I get to re-roll. That's an 18 for the first hit.
Certainly.
Wow.
Beautiful. Okay.
Oh, there's that first 4. There's our first 4.
Go ahead and click your tickers.
And then a 23 for the third one.
Dude, the 1 into the 4.
We need like a Sable Dice bingo game for like those watching at home. It's just all 4.
Yeah. Oh my god. So 4 and 5. So for 9 fire damage, as Huell blasts him with his fire wand.
Absolutely. Absolutely. All right. So next we have Roshi. Roshi, she is going to charge down here. And she's going to do some things to the monk. We have a 25, which I guess is probably going to get there.
Yeah.
And let's see this real quick. She does this. Go ahead and give me a strength saving throw, please. Strength saving throw of DC 18.
Sounds like something a halfling would be really good at.
Got a 13.
It is going to, as it comes around, it just swings wide. Here's the thing. Its trunk actually knocks both you and this sort of wraith warrior back and prone. So you're prone on the ground. It's going to step up and make a stomp against you as well, sir.
Okay.
26 for, man, this, I don't know what you do to warrant all of this damage, buddy, but it is on you every time.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Okay.
24.
All right.
Bringing us over to Dr. Braso Hill.
All right. Dr. Braso Hill, get away from my cousin, and comes running over. Although he's not so sure about this. Let's see. He will, right there. And I will take a slash at.
Create a beard bear as well for that donation.
Beard Bear.
16.
Beard bear.
Epic name.
And
oh yeah, that short sword's gonna get there, buddy.
all right, well, we're gonna drop another short sword.
It's a big fleshy target. You're able to dig in twice.
All right, then we're gonna let rip with the whip.
With the whip, give me advantage on that. Roll that one more time.
Okay, I will definitely roll that one more time.
That's okay.
It's not going to make a difference. Now, because there are 2 enemies standing within 5 foot of each other, I will invoke my hunter ability, Horde Breaker, I think it is, and take a shot at.
Oh,
I got that.
Fuck.
Oh, but it failed. I finally get to use it, and it fails me so badly. All right, well, that being said, the mammoth is going to.
He's prone.
Oh, he is prone. Yeah, that's amazing.
All right, I'll do the damage to the mammoth, and I'll take another shot at that real quick. So there's 7, there's 4, Let's see.
You're not rolling this. You're not rolling this on the mammoth at all, are you?
Oh no. I'm
That's all
sorry.
right. That's all right. That's okay. No, it's okay. I
You're
just
like-
wanted to make sure I can clean it up. I just wanted to make sure I'm not double.
Yeah. So that was a total of 14, 15 to the mammoth, and
Okay.
a better D&D player would have actually used their bonus action better. All right. So that was an advantage. So that's only a 12. So that's probably not going to do it anyway.
That's not going to do it. Now we have the Sword Wraith Warriors reacting here. He's going to stand up as a free action. I don't know how else to do this, buddy.
Oh, you go ahead. Jeez,
I don't have
go ahead and kill
any
me.
other way that I think makes sense to do this. So, okay. It's just been a long day for you, hasn't it? Hadn't it just been a long day? All right. So
A long day.
first Warhammer know this. Yeah, so he is going to throw over at you. Let me retract that real quick. God. All right. We have a 24.
Mm-hmm.
As he steps up and slashes back into you for another 8.
Yeah.
And as a bonus action, you know what? He doesn't have a bonus action because he had to stand up from being prone. So that's going to be his turn. We're going to, and that's a house rule, guys. Just an FYI reminder that we do here at Saver Dice, or at least on my games. And then this one is going to move up. Let me just kind of calculate how far I can get this guy up. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Okay. And he's going to move up and do the same thing. To Roscoe. We got a 25 as he comes up and slashes into you as well. And for some reason, that damage die didn't roll. Let's go ahead and do that one more time for another 8 points of damage, dropping Roscoe 3 stone. Campus, what would you like to do, sir?
Oh no, Roscoe! I could get him up and heal him. Yeah. I had a thing planned and then Roscoe died and I don't know what to do. I'm stricken with inaction. Yep, I'm going to do bonus action Hail of Thorns. Next time I attack, I'm going to shoot one at Sword Wraith Warrior 1. The one that I think just took down Roscoe. With Oaken Hammer. That is a 14 to hit.
Does that get the +2 on there?
That does get a +2 on there.
Okay. That is 14 is not enough to land on the
Okay.
warrior.
Second attack. 24.
Yeah, way more than enough.
And that is 10 points of magical damage. And must make a dexterity saving throw.
He doesn't need it. This is on Sword Wraith Warrior 1.
Yeah.
Did you drop that damage on him?
No, but I can do.
Okay, no, don't worry about it.
There we go.
That is enough to drop him.
Okay.
So you fire off this arrow and it just streaks across, blasting through him and gone. He kind of sort of evaporates while he stands over Roscoe 3 stone.
Okay. Hordebreaker, which I also have. I can make another attack with the same weapon against a different creature that is within 5 feet. So I'm going to try and shoot the mammoth.
Hail of Thorns, isn't that an area effect?
Hail of Thorns. Next time you hit a creature... No.
Son of a...
Oh, sorry, you're right. Yep, I'm not reading. Like, this text is tiny and my eyes don't work. In addition to the normal effect of the attack, the target of the attack, and each creature within 5 feet of it. Oops. God damn it, Dave!
That is going to give that's going to give Roscoe 2 death saving throw fails.
Oh, fuck me. All right. Yeah, probably wouldn't have done that if I had read that rule.
Sorry, never mind.
But the other people are going to take some damage here. So how much damage are you going to deal out to the mammoth?
Yeah, all right. Yeah.
I was hoping it was enemies only.
Yeah, no. I totally didn't even read that, so sorry, Roscoe.
Oh, no worries.
It's a D10 for everyone. So
Is that automatic or is it?
it's a dex saving throw.
Okay. What's the save, bud?
DC dexterity. I don't know. I'll have to look at it.
Well, how dexterous can Stompy be?
It is something like.
He is not very.
It's not that.
He's gonna take the damage.
I think it's like 12 or 13. I have to find it. So both the mammoth and the sword wraith roll.
And the wraith
yeah,
is
that's
okay.
So mammoth takes an extra 5, and I then did my horde breaker. Oh, fuck, this is an awful turn. 19 for 10
Against who?
against a mammoth.
Okay. Yeah, you just fire off, and Campus gets so excited, like I'm back in combat again. Like he doesn't even see us. He's like calculating and seeing everything like Sherlock Holmes. He's like, okay, he's gonna move over here, move over here. Nothing of what he was calculating actually happens. Roscoe gets immediately dropped and stabbed while he's down, and Campus is so excited he is just firing off with his young, not terribly wise eagerness. And so, unfortunately, he has dealt some additional blows to Roscoe, but he has been effective against his foes. That brings us back around to the top of the order to Roscoe, 3 stones.
Yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and roll this death save.
I'm so sorry.
No.
I'm so sorry. GG's.
Roscoe, 3 stones has passed from this world.
No! As we see his last breath shudder out of his tiny chest.
Huell, you're up. What would you like to do?
Oh my god, what have I done?
Huell casts Fireball. He screams in anger as he sees Roscoe's
Can't fucking believe this.
chest not heave, and he's gonna make sure he doesn't hit Braso at the same time. He's gonna launch his first fireball there. So that was a success for the spirit warrior, and the mammoth got a big fail. There we go for the mammoth. 30 damage to the mammoth. 21 to the what's his name. And he's going to
And I guess that will also be Huell, or not Huell, Dr. Hill.
not saying he had. If you want me, I can measure out where his fireball would go.
I get what you're saying. Yeah, I get you.
He explodes it behind him.
You're totally good.
Back
You're
blast.
totally good, bud.
That's what Huell does. Roscoe! He just like Kaneda's like cures his fireball into existence.
No.
Yeah, that's Huell's turn. He moves a little
Campus is like when Gandalf falls down. He's like, no.
bit. Yeah.
I can't believe Will Jones killed Jonathan Pruitt.
I did not go.
It shit happens.
Just fucking did it. The mammoth charges with a trumpeting blast, and I don't think it can actually charge. So let me just double check here. No, it can't. So it is going to try to reach up and try to slam back down into the kind of short target against Dr. Braso Hill. So we have a gore attack. That did not roll for some reason. Let's try that one more time. There we go. We have a 21 as it
I
successfully
don't think he can miss.
digs in and gores with you.
That hurt a lot.
31 damage.
Ow!
Who's this on?
I'm coming, Roscoe.
Dr. Braso Hill, what would you like to do, sir?
Okay, that's all he's got.
That's all he's got.
All right.
Was it not enough? Are you not entertained?
I will use my bonus action to cast Hunter's Mark on that fucker. And then I am going to use the disengage action to run around to the other side of the pillar.
Uh-huh.
And that will be all of my actions.
That brings us to the Wraith, who is going to move down, close in on our party's wizard, Huell Thunderbuck, and lash out with his longsword.
All right.
Are you going to
AC
portent this?
Yeah, I'm going to give him a 5.
Okay. Is an 11 going to hit you?
Nope. AC 15.
Okay. And then let me just confirm something real quick. This is a... It is going to use its bonus to make a second attack against you. And that is going to drop us over on Huell, which is going to miss wildly anyways. You kind of foresee all this coming. You sidestep once and twice around this Wraith warrior. Campus, what would you like to do, sir?
I look at what I've done. Unable to comprehend
I can't
the
believe
sheer level of misunderstanding. I was saying this in chat, but I would like the record to know, formally on this live stream, I did not read that rule, and David FRIANT was the one that made me look up that rule and read it out, and killed Roscoe. I tried to veto my bonus action. I wouldn't have done it if I'd known, but hey, if totally in character. Campus does not know what he's doing. He's green as grass, and he looks at his bow. Dad, why? And throws down the bow, draws his longsword, levels it towards the mammoth and charges. I'm coming, Roscoe! I'm sorry! And I'm going straight towards that son of a mammoth, and I'm taking it down. On an 18 to hit.
It's more than enough.
9 points of damage.
Sure, you dig in for 9 more.
I
It is kind of starting to look a little wounded.
Good, yeah. I'm just like...
You've got it on the ropes.
This is the, the hobbits charging down the Black Gate. Campus is just sheer, just crying. I'm coming, Roscoe.
I'm coming.
And that is my turn. I bonus action Hunter's Mark, because of course I do that afterwards.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
That brings us around to Huell.
Does this guy look hurt at all?
Oh yeah, very much so. Yeah, you blasted him with fireball.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Gosh, what do I want to do? I think Huell is going to Misty Step out of this guy's reach, and then so that's going to be 5, 10. And then he's going to move over here and Toll the Dead on this. Otherwise, actually, no, he's a ghost, right? I'm going to use my Ray of Frost instead. There we go. Ooh, that's a big 4.
It's a big whiff.
Oh.
All right.
Mammoth is going to turn and try to gore young Campus here, who has found himself very close to a raging beast as it trumpets along. I have a massive 19.
Oh! No!
21 points of damage.
No!
Get out of there, Campus!
Get out!
I have to! Roscoe, no!
This brings us over to Dr. Braso Huell. What would you like to do, sir?
I want to do something crazy. So
Do it.
I want to run by, right? And lash out with the whip as I do.
Oh my god. Okay. Give me the dexterity check that you're about to do to whip to right on its back.
All right. I'm going to do the attack roll first because I grabbed that die and I'm holding it. So that's a halfling 1. So I whip out and it's like going to totally miss for the actual attack roll.
Just hit. Oh, you're just trying to hit the trunk, right?
I'm going after the tusks. Yeah.
I mean, I think an 8 would get there. You're
Okay.
you're a very skilled combatant. You're just trying to pretty much just lash onto any of the trunk, right?
Yeah. So I'm going to swing.
Yeah.
So all right. So that's a 10.
A 10, however, is not going to be enough. Do this for me. Roll me a D8, David Friant.
All right. It's an 8.
Okay. As you begin to swing on this thing, it raises up and it tosses you high into the air, and you realize you have no momentum to get like a wrap around and do kind of what you wanted with this thing. But as it does so, you kind of let go of the whip, and that will bring you over here. And that's just kind of an instinctive thing as you go up and you're trying to kind of avoid from being like ripped and tossed around with this thing, maybe having your arm pulled out of its socket. And so you land just a few feet away, but whipless.
Okay. So does that count as, how many attacks does that count as so far?
They used one attack. And
all right, so I'm just going to double hand the short sword and just run up at him. I'm like, because I see Krampus down there and it's just not looking good. So that's an 18.
Yep, it certainly is enough.
All right, and that's going to be 6 plus Hunter's Mark for another 5.
Okay.
And then my second attack with the short sword. I got you covered, Campus.
You're just furiously slashing and cutting into this thing as well now.
Yeah.
For another 4. Yep.
4 and another 2.
I got it. Okay. That is your turn.
That is my turn. Oh, that didn't go the way I expected it. Come on, Campus, hang in there.
The Wraith here, feeling confident that the two piddly little creatures next to this enormous mammoth of Roshi will turn its attention to the halfling that has escaped its grasp and is the most capable. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. And will double move, charging in at you, Huell. But it will not be enough to attack. Campus, what would you like to do, sir?
You. How? No! I'm gonna attack it twice. A 11 to hit?
Actually, you know what? Hold on. 11 is not enough.
All right, second attack.
Don't forget to flame.
You just hear
Ghost of Roscoe.
17 for 6 damage, and I do an extra d6 on my Hunter's Mug. So 2. So 8 total.
Remember your training.
Roscoe, is that you?
How's this thing?
I gotta
I
take
feel
my
like
next
we've done a
level at
shit ton
moment.
of damage.
Do me a favor, Campus,
Yeah.
and describe. Can't believe this. Describe your killing blow on this mammoth.
Okay, so you know when Legolas goes up Leolithon and like does a super cool fucking move? None of that. It's like Roscoe. No, sorry, not Roscoe. Jesus Christ. Campus just holds the sword up, and the mammoth just happens to like fall onto it, and he just like presses the sword upwards, and it finds this like jelly-like brain, and he's like, "Roscoe, no!"
Just a trumpeting roar, and it begins, instead of the expected blood bath that you were expecting to be just totally completely covered in, when you go to do that, it begins to wisp and fade away and return with this big shadow back into the little trinket.
Oh.
That brings
That
us
was a
over.
good trick.
That brings us over to Huell.
Now, fuck this guy. I'm gonna shoot him with a level 2 magic missile.
Sounds legit.
Where is my?
He's got 14 life, bud.
That's
level 2
4d4
sounds
plus
all right.
4. Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. I can't do that. Sorry, I rolled it on the token. I need to roll it here. Oh, that is weak. 10 damage.
Oh, bummer. 10 damage.
And Huell's. Do I have a bonus action? I don't think Huell has any bonus action. Huell's just going to be there. He's like,
Unarmored
Flipping
strike.
him
Just punch him. Give him the
All
little elbow, the old Huell elbow. That brings us not to the mammoth, but to Dr. Braso Hill.
All right. Am I able to scoop the whip up?
Yes.
All right.
The whip is on the ground after this thing returned to its shadowy form into the trinket.
All right. It's not gonna matter anyway because I had to move the mark as a bonus action. But I will. Ooh, these grids are so light. Actually, it might matter.
Mhm.
I can barely see the grid over there. All right, cool. Is that 25?
You can just zoom in.
Oh, I guess I could zoom in.
Yeah.
Yeah, so smart. Oh,
This wonderful map, of course, was brought to you by Dungeon Painter Studio by Pyromancers.com, who we appreciate being a part of the show.
yeah, absolutely. Oh, so I cannot even get close enough. I will run at him. I've moved my mark, and I'll make rude gestures in his direction.
We're both making rude gestures at him.
have been made. The Wraith will now launch itself at not Dr. Hill, at Huell. Why did that not roll an attack? Let's try this one more time. There we go. We have a 24 as he slashes across Huell for a whopping 12 points of damage. She comes back in with the bonus action for another 20 for
That's
another.
2.
That's a 2, which won't do any damage.
All right.
And Campus, what would you like to do, sir?
Campus.
I'm so sorry. I rush, and in my fury, I turn, and I'm gonna stab his finger in the back with bonus action. Hunter's Mark goes onto him. 18 to hit for 8 points damage. Plus 5. Still alive?
He is totally smoked at this point.
So I just
Freaks off and dissipates.
ram it through the back with the sword and stand there crying.
And Huell immediately rushes over to Roscoe.
I think you incinerated him after he went down.
I really roasted.
No, he was out of the. I remember he backblasted him. Anyway,
He
always
didn't- he didn't
airburst and
clog up Jim.
backblast with your fireball.
His
Very important. PSA.
Hand still clutching Sensover.
body is broken and crushed. His face has been smashed, and he has little singes on his hair from where your fireball didn't catch him completely, but got close enough to singe.
Oh
that.
my God, I can see his brain.
It's pretty.
Oh my
gruesome.
god, it's everywhere. That's not where it should be.
We're gonna go over to Roscoe. Is there? Where's the figurine? Is this thing coming back?
The figurine
Yes,
is on the
statue.
floor.
All right. Roscoe's truly dead. Well,
I'm so sorry.
I go over to Roscoe's body and scoop up the 3 longswords. and
It's always $2.
and I keep Sensifer, and I give each of the other companions one of the longswords.
it's like, what the hell am I gonna do with this thing?
Who is Roscoe's? Who's Roscoe's?
So one
Yeah.
of you gets the law and the other one gets Adagar. So
Which one you want, cuz?
Just hold this purple one.
Your cousin's body is broken and
Yeah.
battered, burnt here in the Shadow Vale.
And the door's locked, right? It's like we can't even get out.
You
The
haven't
door's
tried the
shut.
doors.
This is where we die.
So I will go over to the door and try it.
Yeah.
All right.
this is where Roscoe
As you walk over to, are you going to the back door, right? Not
That's exactly what I
not the
wanted.
door up ahead,
The
correct?
door we came in through.
Yeah, the door you came in through, it opens.
Oh, frick! We could have just left.
Could just walk
Roscoe
down.
died for nothing.
I'm gonna take that figurine.
Yeah. What would you like to do with the figurine?
Put it in my pocket.
Will Jones over here killing all kinds of party members again.
I will
I'm gonna
restate.
start-
I will restate this fact. He was
That is
already
true.
down.
He's
He was
down.
already down. Thanks to you, Cody Lewis. Secondly,
That's true.
David Friant was the one that made me look up that wording, and then Cody Lewis is the one that said, "No, you can't take that back, Will." So I am basically faultless in all of this.
Don't forget PRUITT botched this death save too.
Thank you.
I just rolled it. I mean,
I gave you a +2 bow, and what immediately happened was they were like, "Ooh, an elephant!" And
What,
two
this is your
warriors that
fault
are
for
tough.
trusting
Let's
me.
run
Why
into it.
would you trust me with something like that?
+2. All right.
Gentlemen,
Well, I mean,
what would you like to do?
I do think it's time for Roscoe to be laid to rest.
Should we bury him or something? Or
Not here, certainly not. But
is there somewhere he should be buried?
I suppose maybe in his monastery or something. Usually we just bury out back near the old tree or whatever. But
Huell would know that the typical thing for the keepers, they know that they don't live that long usually, being in the life they live. So generally they cremate and have their ashes spread somewhere. So
usually cremated. I mean, I could take care of that.
he had to move that fireball.
I can't believe it. I can't believe Roscoe's gone.
You can't fucking believe it.
So many.
I can't help
many
but feel a little
battles.
bit responsible for it. It was my arrow that hit him when he was down.
It is kind of your fault, but in the heat of battle, these things happen.
They do.
Yeah.
Oh God, he's like super shocked. I just want to die. Send me to Roscoe. I want to be with Roscoe.
I don't know that that's such a good idea, Campus. There's we are in the land of the dead. I wonder if it's possible contact. We tried to with McGee.
Well, there were ghosts here. Maybe Roscoe's a ghost now, or something.
It's possible he's a ghost, but he might not like us as a ghost.
And you know, when Grindlebrew came back, it was bad.
It was bad when Grindlebrew came back. I don't know that Roscoe would even want to come back, but
I don't know. It depends on the laws.
Might be
He's
against the
always
law.
really about the law.
I always wonder if this sword has anything to say about it. He's like, otherwise, Huell's about to sick his small little flame elemental on the Roscoe. I don't know. I'd prefer to go back and put him somewhere where he'd like to be, you know. But we just got here.
Should we put him with the elf?
Maybe we could leave him there for a bit and then come back and get him.
That's possible, you know. I suppose that elf hadn't been there that long, right?
It didn't seem to
Because
be
of-
there very long.
Maybe we can just kind of sit them next to each other. I don't know. Huell, we never had to do this before. I mean, Grindlebrew, but he didn't stay dead very long, and he
did.
came back all weird.
He did come back all weird. Well, all right.
As you guys
Huell-
are having this discussion, you see standing behind Campus, who is kind of trying to feel guilty a little bit, a very familiar figure.
Roscoe?
Campus. Don't feel sad.
Roscoe?
But I kind of killed you a little bit.
Hey, you know me, I was always reckless. I didn't have to run up there.
I guess
Is that you, Roscoe?
it was a mammoth that crushed your body a lot first.
It was. He hit me good. Yes,
I got him in the end.
It's me, Huell. Y'all are kind of dreamy.
Does Roscoe look all mashed up still?
He does not. Roscoe, you are feeling two interesting things. On one hand, you are feeling a kind of crushing cold feeling.
Mhm.
And on the other hand, you are feeling pulled and weightless. Almost like there are two different influences on you in this state.
Okay. Yeah, I don't have a lot of time. But I'll stay with you as long as I can while we're here.
Now, Roscoe, you understand that the last time one of our companions returned to us after their demise, things took a turn for the violent.
Oh, don't worry. I'm not coming back like he did. I'll just stay with you.
Oh, well, here's your sword back then.
His hand goes through the sword, I assume.
It does. You have no ability to pick or lift up the sword.
I'll be here with you though. At least we can say goodbye. Proper like family should.
What do you want to do with your body, Roscoe?
Huell, you know, man. Just spread my ashes over that pond.
You don't want me taking it to the family reunion next summer?
Actually, you know what? I want you to take my ashes and bake them in a pie and see if Uncle Phil will actually eat it.
I was considering like an Animate Dead Weekend at Bernie's style shenanigan, but
I'll smell by then. You know that.
That's true. I don't have anything to prevent that.
As he says that, you realize that Roscoe shit himself as he died.
Oh my God, Roscoe!
The very, very last moments of his life.
You get him some new britches.
It happens to everyone.
It does.
It does.
It'll help with the burning.
Well, in that case, Huell's going to douse him with oil and set the flame elemental on him. I don't know how long that'll take.
Yeah, in a matter of moments, Roscoe lights up. His body does, not his spiritual form that is currently accompanying you here in the temple.
Huell tries to put his arm around Roscoe.
Yeah, right through him. Nothing. Doesn't give you any type of resistance at all.
Well, I feel a lot better now.
It should. I mean, yeah, that kind of hurt. I kind of felt that, but it's fine. Don't worry about it.
Cool. I guess. This isn't going to weigh on my mind forever.
Nah, it's fine.
The last thing that catches on fire before it burns the rest of his body to ash is the couple of arrows from Campus the thorns remaining to stick out of his bodies.
That's a hell of a thing.
Like tiny sparklers.
Well, come on back on, Ignis, and then Huell scoop up the ashes in an empty potion bottle. And
speaking of which, you guys are hurting pretty badly here.
Yes, we are. I'm going to my pack and grab some of those healing potions.
Yeah, I've got one. I'm gonna use my regular healing.
How many potions did you have on you, Roscoe?
Did I have any potions?
I think we just set them on fire in our grief, and they're gone.
Oh yeah, I had 2 potions of healing.
I doubt Huell would have done that, but I mean, we
would have searched it. We would have searched him before because he probably had his personal effects and stuff on him.
Mm-hmm.
Besides, he might have food.
Yeah.
At this point, gentlemen, what would you like to do?
I'm gonna do some healing. What is it? 2d4 plus 2? It's 8.
Yeah.
8.
One thing you're noticing is that the sword is still continuing to flicker and kind of give off that ghostly burn as well.
Is this enough time for a short rest?
Would you like to take a short rest?
I mean, if we're burning the body and
I think it's best if we do.
10 minutes is more.
Campus is ready to go yet.
Just rocking myself in the corner.
Yeah. Huell seems remarkably detached from the whole thing. Like he. Roscoe, you all right over there?
Yeah, I'm doing okay.
Mm.
Worried about you, but that's all I really have left to be
Fuck
worried.
this hit dice. Oh
This hit dies.
Holy crap, dude!
Jeez, man.
All right, I'm not rolling anymore. All right, one more. Oh no!
Holy shit!
I'm done with this game. Oh my god. Oh my fucking god. This is not my day.
I got all mine back.
Okay.
Well, Roscoe, we had such short time together, but that's all we ever have. And besides, I just come back and visit you whenever I like.
Yeah, I'd like that,
Sure.
but not too soon, unless it's of your own free will.
Well, sure. Right. Huell gathers up Roscoe's possessions and his ashes.
Yeah, you kind of go through his pack and you see his painting supplies, and you might see like a little bit of a small canvas with like Huell and Braso and Roscoe, and he had just started painting Campus in. That was the outline in his face in there, but he hadn't quite finished the body or added the bow yet.
Huell shows it to Campus. See, Roscoe thought you were part of the family.
Oh.
He didn't let just anyone in either.
That's very true. Well,
We got to finish this thing for Roscoe.
we should try. Who knows what dangers we'll meet ahead.
But yeah, I think you should.
All right then. And Huell, which one of y'all wants to lead?
I guess I will. Campus can take up rear guard.
I'll take the
I'm gonna
rear,
go
guys.
ahead.
I'll just
Let me just.
be in the back with my bow.
It'll be all right, Campus. You'll be right behind us.
Uh-huh.
Let me just go ahead and remove Roscoe from the combat tracker real quick.
Dun, dun, dun.
Well, Campus, I hope you learned something from this. I mean,
Uh-huh. Oh, yeah.
In front of you,
Life is short.
as you approach the door, begins to
Is that a
crack open.
halfling joke?
That sounds like a halfling joke.
It begins to crack open, and you guys see this. There is a long hallway. This might be kind of hard to get on stream, but there is a long hallway extending down, this time into one door at the end, kind of purposefully funneling down, it seems. And this area has been lit up, kind of giving off that soft, eerie glow, unlike the previous area. About 10, 15 feet behind the door, you guys can see a hole, dip, crevice, whatever you want to call it. There is no floor there.
What's there?
Are you going to walk down the hallway to examine the hole?
yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, I guess you have to.
All right, give me a second, guys. Let me get you fixed up.
Hang on, maybe I can go ahead and check it out. Make sure it's okay.
Why don't you go on ahead, Roscoe, and just check it out? You always led the way before.
Yeah, let me do it again.
And yeah, I'm gonna walk down there and just like look down the hole, look around.
It is a hole. It is an empty hole. At the bottom of it, as you kind of are really, really examining it, it looks like there are little, at the very bottom, along the walls, there are a few holes in each of the two, or in each of the four walls around it. But other than that, it is a flat, it is a flat hole. There's no spikes. There's no eternal pit, anything like that. It just drops 15 feet.
Okay.
Well, it's just a 15-foot drop, guys.
Hang on a second, and I'm just gonna kind of hop down there. I mean, I'm new to this death thing, so I don't know exactly mobility.
It takes you a moment, like you get ready to jump, and you don't descend. Like you just kind of like jump, but nothing happens, and you
I really think about being at the bottom.
And very slowly you begin to creep down.
Mm-hmm.
At the bottom there is 4 little holes in each of the walls surrounding this pit. About 3 feet up.
Okay. What's in the holes?
You're gonna actually try to go look inside in the holes and stuff like that.
I mean, I'm not gonna stick my dick in them, but I'm gonna go look at them.
I'm trying to think. Give me a second here. All right, I wasn't prepared for this. Let me kind of think what you would see on the other side. I tell you what, inside each of these holes, what you see is a little. When you peer into this black hole of nothingness, you see a little rocky stone. You know, it's gritty, kind of elongated a little bit, and it's giving off a faint, like a very 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 faint light, not very strong at all. Kind of a yellowish and orangish in tinge.
Okay. And then like look in the other ones.
Same thing.
Same thing. There's like just like some kind of small stone in there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, if that's all I see around here, then I'm gonna kind of like look up and slowly like, and Roscoe comes out of the hole like this. It's like, well,
You guys
there's
slowly begin to see Roscoe just kind of like coming up, like just creeping along, raising up slowly.
Yeah, well, so there's a 15-foot drop here, and there's like 4 holes in it, and there's like a little rock or something that sheds off a little like orange light, and there's one in each one.
So you think it's a trap or a puzzle or a secret door? It's not very hidden for a secret door.
That's why I think it's a trapped puzzle, if I had to guess.
Oh, well.
Can you go through the door on the other side?
Yeah, what's on the other side of that door?
I mean, our hands went right through you.
Let me go see.
and Roscoe's gonna turn around and head towards the door.
Yeah, you go right through it. It's thick. I mean, it's a thick door.
Door.
In the next side, you find another room. I mean, if you'd like, I can describe this room to you, but there is nothing attached to the door.
Okay.
In the next area, there is a kind of green emerald table that's been set up with some form of a gridded stone tablet with several different squares with different images placed about it along this kind of raised platform. And I don't want to share because we're not going to
I don't understand.
show it quite yet. And then also on the floor here in this room are several magical circles.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Once I see that, I'm gonna come back through the door.
Be like, all right, guys. There's like a green like altar, and there's like a stone thing on it with some symbols, and there's like 6 magic circles kind of arranged around it.
Well, that doesn't sound ominous at all.
Oh, it's yeah.
My concern is that this thing in the bottom of the pit, somehow connected to it. Huell's going to go over and examine the pit. You think it's as long as Roscoe thought it was safe.
Are you going to jump down into the pit?
He's standing at the top of it.
Yeah,
he's not going to jump down in.
As you look down, it looks like a 15-foot stone slab pit.
Mm-hmm.
You can't even from this distance, you can't even really make out the holes that he was speaking of from this angle.
I'm going to pull a pack out of my rope, or a rope out of my pack. Reverse that. I'm gonna hand it
the rope is bigger on the inside.
It is.
I'm gonna hand
Squeeze
it to
the pack
Campus
out.
and Huell. I'm gonna try to skirt around the pit.
Yeah, you can skirt around the pit. Nothing happens. You're standing as next to the door if you want to be.
Yeah, I'll go right up to the door. And is there any like mechanisms or knobs? I'll try pushing on the door.
I would make you give me an investigation check, but it doesn't look like anything. It has all you see on this door is it looks kind of like all the other doors as far as the ornateness and the decoration and the style. It looks very, very similar. It has a little, it has a kind of like a round handle. What do you call those? Like just the regular fall over hand. They're not called knockers or something. I don't know, whatever. It's just like a little metal handle ring that will let you pull the door.
I will grasp it and try and pull the door.
Okay, give me a strength save, please. Or not a strength save, a dexterity save, please, sir.
Thick door.
Door is thick.
Roscoe. Oh.
That is a halfling
one.
Oof.
Yeah. All you guys see is this.
Braso!
You see him pull the thing, the door open. As he opens it up, you swear you see an enormous big blue fist come by and just slam into him, sending him back all the way back and falling down 15 feet into the pit. You then hear as lightning proceeds to fire off. Not Roscoe, you've already taken enough damage. You're going to take 9 bludgeoning damage, followed by 12 lightning damage.
Okay.
You then see a smaller hand grab the door and close it.
So I'm laying on the bottom of this pit. Ow.
You all right?
Don't touch the door handle. I think it's trapped.
Well, do you think you disarmed it?
I don't know what happened after I fell in the hole.
You got shocked.
You got shocked is what happened.
Well, you guys would have seen that other hand close the door.
That was quite
Yeah.
shocking.
Oh yeah, did we see anyone? Did we see the thing close the door?
Yeah, hand shut the door.
The hand shut the door. A smaller hand, not the big one.
So did the lightning come out of those holes or?
Oh yeah. Uh-huh.
All right, guys, I got an idea.
All
Maybe
right.
take that rope you got there, right? Tie it around the handle, and stand by over here on the other side of the hole, and y'all give it a good old heave.
A good old heave.
And I'll be with you in spirit.
I will go over.
How long were you fucking sitting on that?
I will go over. I will tie off the door.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And then I will go around the corner here
Yep.
and tell those guys to pull.
Are y'all standing way back here and pulling, or
It's like
Yes.
Yeah.
okay? Yeah.
Past the hole. Like
Yeah.
at least.
Y'all
yeah.
are way past it. So y'all pull the door open. It pulls open pretty easily. You see an enormous fist go and retreat back, and a smaller hand shuts the door. Even as you're holding on to this rope, it pulls so strong that it actually pulls you a little bit as it shuts the door again.
Interesting.
I don't like this guy at all now.
No, me either. Anybody got something that's large and blocky, like a door jam? Otherwise, Huell's going to use one of these long swords we have to jam up the door.
Please use Adagar. Don't use the law.
You can use
Oh yeah, he's
The
good.
law's not meant to be a barrier.
No,
like
no. The
I've got
law
I've
is
got a second longsword on me, which is just normal one. So you could use that.
okay. Let's use that.
We just have so many fucking longswords.
We're just like golf bags of long swords. Yeah. Then when we open it this time, Huell's gonna wait for the big fist to swing before he mage hands the long sword like into where the door hinge would be, like just trying to jam it in there as much as possible to get it to prevent it from closing.
Okay. You do the same thing. You pull safely away. You pull safely away. You've got your mage hand ready to go. The smaller hand grabs the door handle, begins to pull it closed, and describe how you're jamming the sword in there. From the bottom, from the side, what?
Probably from the bottom, just sort of like jamming it in there so that it's, how like where the hinge is. He wants to just like get right up in there, just all up ins.
Snap! At the handle, it snaps. You can see some of the sword actually sticking out from the bottom of this thing.
Okay.
But anybody within 20 feet, you hear an odd voice go, "How rude."
what the fuck? And Roscoe like
comments?
floats over and
Wait.
goes through that.
Maybe we just need to knock. You know? That's polite, right?
Campus, you're right. And Roscoe goes up and like, shit. And goes through the door.
Nothing.
Roscoe.
Well, Huell, maybe you can use that magic hand of yours and knock with the hilt.
Yeah, okay, yeah, as long as it lasts like a minute, he'll knock with the hilt.
You mage hand over. The door swings open from the inside.
That was easy.
I'm a genius.
Anybody in there?
You don't see anybody in there. As you're peering in, you see kind of a similar thing to what Roscoe saw as he passed through the door.
I think Huell was asking, right? He was calling out.
Yeah, he was calling out. He's
Right, that's what I'm saying. Nobody
answers.
Nobody answers.
Okay.
Yeah. Might as well go on in.
I will. You know what? I am going to down one of those potions before.
And Roscoe, go ahead and go in.
All right.
It looks clear.
Yeah, I go in chugging a potion.
Yeah, walk on in.
Yep, follow on in.
Give me a second. Let me get you guys set up. I'm gonna put. Wow, that's massive. Why did that do that? So as you enter into this room, let me get you guys set up here. We are on 6.3, so you guys should be able to see that now.
Oh, yeah.
Just please turn to your syllabus.
Oh, you guys haven't seen this room yet.
384.
Correct. Perfect. So in front of you lies another big square room, just like the Temple of the Blue Rose. This is just continuing along this theme. It looks very, very similar in structure. Similar door sits across the way from you. On the floor sit 6 magical sigils. You have a good idea they're magical because they are glowing. In the center of the room, however, is a sort of green jade altar, almost kind of like raised from the center. And on this altar is sitting a square tablet with several rune-like structures on it. Around the rest of the table of the altar are more of these runes that seem kind of loose.
Yeah, well, Huell breaks out his mat and arcane accoutrements, and unless there's immediate danger, starts to detect magic.
I will share this sheet with you guys so you can see it. Yeah, detect magic.
Oh shit, I didn't mean to move that.
Oh, it's moving stuff.
I moved it.
Hold on, I gotta make sure it's in the right place. Dude, yeah, magic. You're absolutely getting all kinds of magic auras from this place.
Any particular kind? Like
You're getting some enchantment, and you are also getting some necrotic.
From which ones?
From
Radius
the
necrotic?
portals, or from the not portals, the sigils.
Interesting. And then enchantment from what? The altar, or just somewhere else? Okay.
And then the doors are also enchanted as well.
Mm-hmm. Quite personally, I don't trust any of those sigils. They don't seem protective in nature and seem more harmful. At the very least, they're channeling some sort of negative energy throughout the room.
Cool.
Don't walk on them.
Right, gotcha.
And
Also,
then,
don't shoot me.
No problem.
there's going to be a I don't know. Is there any, what else is there? Nobody comes and answers or anything?
You don't see anything.
So
I think my being watched because
yeah, I'm not so sure about this. So this tablet is what we see, and if I go over and look at one of the closest one of these circles.
Yeah, I mean, you can go over and examine some of the circles. They're just kind of glowing. They're not dug in or embedded. They seem to be glowing off of the cold floor.
So do I see any symbols that match anything in this puzzle or in this in the tablet?
I would let you make an intelligence or an investigation check, but I will tell you you're not going to.
Okay. So yes, I don't see anything that seems to match. Okay. Is there any markings on the walls or this table or anything like that?
There is not.
These runes or sigils we see on the tablet. Now they're carved into the tablet?
They seem to be carved in already, some of them. And then there are, in addition to that, these sort of like square stone blocks with these runes that look like they could be placed on top of it.
Okay, like Scrabble pieces?
Similar to that, yes. I mean, larger, but yes.
Cousin, these runes, these marks, Do they look familiar to you?
I mean, Huell will walk over to him. Come on, none of these look.
I mean, I've seen a fair amount of symbols in my time, maybe. I just don't remember a lot of them.
Are they familiar at all to Huell?
I'm gonna say no. They're not familiar to you.
So these don't look like any alphabets or anything like that we've seen.
Not that you recognize.
Okay.
Huell just kind of stares at it. Well, I'm not sure exactly. It seems as though someone lived here or something. I'm not sure I want to go touching a lot of things. They could be watching us. As Huell kind of like looks around the room, he's looking for like weird shadows that maybe betray an invisible observer or something.
Give me an give me a perception check as you gaze around.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. Where is my character sheet? All right, character sheet. Don't fail me now.
Just the empty chair with the Roscoe headstone.
Just that's all.
It's killing me right now.
Yeah, it's really bumming me out. 8.
You don't see anything.
So we've got 6 of these rune circles. We got a door. Right, there's just the door in, the door out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's gotta have something to do with these puzzles and something to do with these 6 magic circles. If only
Easily.
I knew.
If only you knew. Is there any? Are the symbols on the altar repeated anywhere throughout the room?
They are not.
It looks like
Lord.
the pieces can be moved.
Oh yeah. Oh. And then I don't know. She'll take a look at it.
It's like they're in the wrong order and they need to be put in the right one.
And he is going to. Would you say there's a particular skill that governs cryptography? Or actually, he's going to give himself adept skill intelligence. So he's going to boost his intelligence with his adept skill.
What information are you trying to glean?
He's going to see if it's just like anything about this that's in code or like what the pattern is here. Should take a linguist.
You
those code breakers.
Go ahead and give me that roll, bud.
Here, let's see. In that case, got my adept skill.
Are you guys seeing the picture I put up? I can't tell. Yeah. Is it on stream? Okay.
Mm-hmm. That is plus a d6.
Oh yeah.
That's 26 total.
You immediately recognize a pattern. You can see by how many remaining tiles there are on the side that when you look at the puzzle, each of the 9 square blocks, none of the patterns repeat. And in each of the rows, none of the patterns repeat. And in each of the columns, none of the patterns repeat. And there are, in fact, only 9 symbols.
All you got to do is put it together like that. When you look at the picture as a whole and not individual parts, you can see the pattern quite easily, and you will start putting in the pieces.
Yeah. As you begin to lift the first one up.
Mage-handed, by the way.
Yeah.
It's not touching anything in this damn place.
as you begin to raise this one up, let's do this. We got a D6. Yeah, exactly what we thought. So we will now have a. Come on now, work with me. Because the way I have to design this counter, guys, it may or may not be roll directly on there. So bear with me during that. Actually, you know what? Let me try it this way. I think I did this. All right. So now let's do that. And let's add this to. Yeah. Okay. So here's how this is going to go. This is going to go in the order of. Let me go ahead and roll initiative. So we've got Dr. Hill, Huell, and Campus in that order. And as you lift the first one up, you see a flash kind of around the room because you have your back to this particular circle. As shing, it kind of lights up and settles back in, and there is another one of these figures standing there, charging in your direction. So let me. I will explain how this goes. This is a Sudoku puzzle. I also have a key for you guys to make things a little bit easier, so you can tell me, and then I will set up the correct tokens. Please don't move any of those. It took a while to set those up, and then you can put on each one of your rounds. You can put 2 tiles down. Okay, so each person can put 2 tiles down on their turn. Let's start with Huell. Go ahead. Which 2 pieces would you like, and where would you like them?
Oh, geez.
Remember, cousin, in Halfling, Sudoku starts with an I.
It starts with an I. It does, doesn't it? Sorry. There is. Let's see. I don't know. I'll take
Sudoku before God. Sudoku.
Yeah, I'll take number 2. Go start with the bottom row. I'll take 2, and I don't know.
You can just like hover one of these nearby and be like, it's in this square or whatever you want.
Yeah, this one right here.
Okay, so number 2. What are you doing, man? What are you doing? Where are you putting it?
I don't know, Cody. You're the one that made us do a Sudoku puzzle with no numbers at 9:30 at night after we've been gaming. So I'm going to take my sweet ass time.
I set you up a key there, buddy.
We've been traumatized.
I already told you. I used 2 for the first one.
Where you want to put it?
I'm putting it in.
Have you done Sudoku before, Jim Davis?
No, I don't do Sudoku.
Would you
Cody.
do? Oh,
Why would you? I'm a role player. Why the fuck would I do? I've never met a role player who liked math. Those people do other things.
I like math.
I don't know. He puts 2 in like the first one available on the bottom row. For some reason, my pointer's not working.
Okay, the bottom row.
Yeah.
Do you not do Sudoku?
No, that's not it.
You want it there?
No, I want it the one that's to the bottom right of that.
You want it there?
Sure, that works.
Okay, as you put it there, give me a dexterity save.
Oh no, we're gonna die from a Sudoku puzzle.
Yeah.
On a roll Sudoku.
It's like one of the first things I was like, yeah, it's not
14.
repeating in the square. Okay. You're going to take half of this. You're going to take 1 point of electrical damage. And as you kind of set this thing on there, it turns to sand, drifts down the side, and reforms along the edge.
So he's just going to turn and fire his wand at the ghost.
Okay. Yeah, no problem. Go ahead and do that.
All right, here we go. Where's his wand at?
Cousin, that shape is already in that subset.
Didn't look like it the first time. All right, here we go.
Let's see.
First hit's 24.
Yeah, it's definitely good.
19. It's 24, 25, and 20 damage. 20 to hit. And it's going to do 8, 7, and then 8.
22 total?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you fry this ghost.
Because
Why don't you put him in there, Roscoe? As he just like ashes this ghost.
I'm literally like about to tell you where to put one of them.
Campus.
Put number 3. Put number 3. in
Oh, yeah, you
bottom
can,
left row.
you,
Third from the bottom.
Bottom left, right, third. This goes here. Yep.
Are you okay? Stop, buddy. Stop.
Yeah.
Did you just move that?
Yeah,
I
he
moved it
moved
back.
Yeah. Okay. You tell me, because if you mess it up, it will. I'm telling you, it will be a fucking nightmare. So
You're telling me.
You want number 3? Yeah.
okay, where do you want it, bud?
So Sun One goes here. I moved
Okay.
it.
Okay. I will. No problem. I got you fixed up.
Okay. Fuck me. Then.
How late is it for you, Will Jones?
Oh, I'm in the EST, but
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I just.
So no lightning when he did that.
No lightning. He sets it in,
And
and
then
nothing
you
happens.
You want number 6 next to that.
Which one is 6? Is B. Okay, so I'm gonna put 6 next to the sun.
Right next to the one you just put.
So that one there.
Hey, yeah. Hey, yeah, man. Don't move those for me, bud. Okay. Yeah, that'll work.
Okay.
I like how it's slowly drifting across. Okay, cool. Nothing happens.
And then 5 in them remaining.
You can only do 2 in one turn.
Oh, I know. I'm just saying for the next person.
This is going to bring up to Dr. Braso Hill. What would you like to do, sir?
All right, so you said 5. 5 doesn't look like it would go there because there's already one there, right? And there's
No, y'all don't have a Jesus fish yet in that bottom 9 section, and it's not in that row, and it's not in the column. That's the whole thing with Sudoku. You can't repeat row, column, or in a 3x3 square.
I have no idea.
Row, column, or 3x3 square.
Or
It's a logic puzzle, buddy.
Yeah, no. I get that.
Oh, I mean, no, I
just don't know which square he's talking about.
In that bottom left square subset of 3x3.
Oh,
there's
yes,
the
yes,
one
I see what
space
you're saying.
left.
That,
You wanna
yes.
put number 5 there.
All right, Jesus fish there.
Yep.
Jesus fish right there.
Yep.
It locks into place. As you kind of lock in this 9 set, it kind of gives off a little glow, but it doesn't shock you.
Well, that's good.
At that point, that brings us over to another circle popping up and flaring up behind you.
So, okay, and that was only one.
And this thing is going to come charging down 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, and close in on you, but not to be able to hit as it's drawing its sword and shield.
Okay.
That brings us over to Huell. What would you like to do?
Huell is going to blast this guy.
But I think that was only one. That was only one tile, though.
For you? For
yeah.
Braso?
That was only one tile.
Oh, well, do you still have a go?
I thought you did 2. Okay.
Yeah, because only
did the
one.
one.
So, all right. So now I'm looking at this top right quadrant.
Okay.
And let's see. You don't want to do that.
You got a key, so you can tell me where you want it.
Yeah, I want to do number 3 in the top left of that right quadrant.
That's a good guess. Wait, no, you already got 3 in the.
You want us?
Oh, I see. Yeah, that was a dumb one. Dr. Hill finds out the hard way that there's already one in the quadrant.
Yes. As you go to put this one in, give me a dex.
Oh, I meant the other one. That's a dex save? Yeah. All right. Let's see.
As it dissipates down.
No, I don't need the whole thing. I need this.
Dex save is 13.
All right. Oh, so
yeah, 4 lightning damage.
Thanks.
This guy closes in on you, and that brings us over to Huell. Huell, what would you like to do, my friend?
Huell is going to blast this guy with another burst from his wand.
Yep.
So here we go. Where's it at? Oh, why did I close it down? There we go. All right. We have got 24 to hit. 14
More than
to
enough.
hit.
14 misses.
14 is then 18 to hit.
Okay.
So 7 and 4 is 11 total damage to that one, and then he's going to move right. Actually, he's going to stay where he's at.
Okay, that brings us over to campus. What would you like to do?
Which one are we working on now?
Right now you can go anywheres.
Jesus, that's too much. That's too much choice for me, Dave.
I was thinking about putting number 2 where I just tried putting that number 3.
Yeah, I was gonna say either number 2 or try number 5.
All right, let's put number 2 in there first.
Okay.
Oh, 5.
You want a 5?
Sure.
I would do 5.
Okay, 5.
Okay. As you slide this 5 rune in, it sets in place and nothing happens.
Ooh. Maybe the 2 in the middle?
Yeah. Yep. Let's try that.
As you set it in place, it glows blue, but it doesn't shock you.
Oh.
Okay.
Wonder maybe if it corresponds to the circles. Look, Roscoe looks around. Are any of the circles glowing?
And then it dissipates. None of the circles are glowing
Oh, okay.
yet.
Remind me.
Oh, so it was wrong, but not
Didn't shock you.
not completely wrong. Okay. So
Well,
I
that's
think
because so the thing is about that one, it didn't shock you because there wasn't another one in a row or a column of the same kind. It was just in the wrong spot.
yeah, but if we shift it diagonal down, that's probably where it goes.
Yeah. So the one you just tried, put it in the bottom right of that.
That brings us over to campus. What would you like to do, my friend?
Oh, really? Me again? Okay.
Oh, wait. I'm sorry. That was just Dr. Hill, right?
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
apologize.
cool.
I apologize. So that will bring us over to the Guardians, who are going to spawn here. That's not what I wanted. Spawn there. And this one is going to lash out at you with its sword, and it is going to give me 1 second here. My goodness, there we go. This is Dr. Braso Hill. It is going to miss wildly. The next one is going to close the gap. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55 as it closes in between the two of you. That brings us back around to Huell. What would you like to do?
This one that I had attacked earlier, Huell's going to continue with that one. Here we go. Let's see. This is my fourth last. I keeps closing it down. Here we go. We've got 21 to hit, and that's not going to do it. That's a 9, and then a 23 for another 9 fire damage.
And this is on the one right next to you?
This is the one that I hit last time.
So how much damage total?
9 for this
9
round.
more? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Do you want to move?
No.
Campus.
All right. What do we need doing? We got
In the top right,
top right.
section, if you put number 7 in the center.
Oh, yep. 7 in center.
Okay. Which section? So on the top middle?
Top right.
Top right.
Top right. Okay. And you want 7 where?
In the center.
Okay. As you put this in place, it stays perfectly.
And then number 2 in the bottom right of the top right.
Yeah. Number 2 in there.
Okay. And it locks into place as well. Dr. Braso Hill, what would you like to do, sir?
I want to. I am going to put bottom right corner, number 2 in the very bottom, but not in the corner.
Bottom center?
Yeah, bottom center.
You slide this over and it clicks into place.
Boom. Chakalaka boom. And then we want to go with, let's try a number. Not that number. What are you thinking, man? Not that number either. Let's go with, I think we're going to go with the number, let's see, 7 in the corner. Yeah, the corner.
Okay. No, okay. Which quadrant do you want? Top, middle, or bottom row?
Bottom row.
Okay.
All the way bottom, all the way right.
Okay. And then where do you want this one?
This
Is going to go right in the bottom,
right.
like that.
Yep, that's the one.
It clicks into place as well. Okay. At this point, you guys see another attacker. And we are going to start having these guys taking swipes at you, as we have 2 of them are going to swipe over here at Dr. Braso Hill. We have a melee attack against you, my friend. 20, is that going to hit?
That is absolutely going to hit.
And he's going to slam into you with his sword for 4 points of damage, followed by another. That was against Huell, actually, which isn't, and it automatically missed. And then this one will 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50. Close in on campus. All right. That brings us back around to Huell. What would you like to do, sir?
Well, that one that I've been chipping away at, I think this time, I don't know, I'm running out of charges on my wand, but as long as I've got them, I'm going to use them. So let's just see if he'll die this time. Ooh, so that's a 17 to hit.
17's going to get there.
That's going to miss. That's a big old 4. 13 misses as well. So just this go around 4 fire
And
damage.
it's going to be enough to drop him.
All right. That guy's out. 2 more to go.
That's it. You'll keep him off us while we do this
Get him.
puzzle.
Just finish this damn thing.
So number
And then
9,
he's like, so there's 2 more. All right.
Yes.
far right column, the bottom open spot on the far right column. That's number 9.
All right. So you tell me what you want to do here. Because is campus doing this? Let me ask you a question. Roscoe, have you tried to lift one of these tiles yet?
Is not.
No.
Okay.
I just kind of assumed.
So where do you want the 9 at?
If you put the bottom on the
Oh,
far
wait, let me
right
find a puzzle.
column,
Okay.
the bottom open space in the far right column. There's only 2 open spots.
Oh, yep.
You want it right there?
Yeah.
Okay. Give me one more.
And then what's the last one? The I. Yeah, the number 8 in the space above that in that far right column.
It locks into place as well. This brings us back around to Dr. Braso Huell.
All right. I will put the number 8 in the bottom right quadrant, second from the bottom. So between the equal sign and the sun, I want to go with an 8.
As you put this one in place, it turns blue and fizzles out.
Oh no.
The one above it.
Oh, so I get another one. So I'll put it in the one above it.
As you put this rune in place, it turns blue and it fizzles out.
Interesting.
That brings us over to Huell. A ghost did not spawn this last round.
All right.
The
This
puzzle's broke.
the puzzle's broke. Yeah, this one nearest to me, Huell is going to, he's going to attack with his magic missile instead.
Okay.
And that is, of course, 1, 4, 8, and 12
Wow.
damage.
Nicely done, sir. Okay. You want to move?
Not as long as I'm still in melee with one of these guys.
Not as like, nope, not gonna move. Okay, that brings us back around to the ghosts who are going to take their turn and whip out and attack. We've got another one that is going to lash out at Campus this time. And so, Campus, as you're kind of looking at this puzzle and having Roscoe talk to you in your ear, we're going to have this ghost come up and try to slash. And is a 15 going to get there? 15's going to get there, and he's going to slash out with a whopping 3 points of damage. He's going to multi-attack this turn and come back with another 18 for a massive 8 as this thing digs into you twice. The other ghost turning from Dr. Braso Huell over to Huell. We have an 18, and I believe both portents are used at this point, or no? Yeah, it is. And he's going to slash into you for 5. He's going to go ahead and take that multi-attack as well. And that did not roll. That did not roll. He is going to lash out at you with a... Wow, that did not roll either. I'm so sorry. 1 second here, gentlemen. He's going to not... Why are you not rolling onto his thing? There we go. He's going to miss you.
All right.
Campus, what would you like to do?
What do I do, Roscoe?
So the far right quadrant, center section there, the center 3x3 of the far right. The top center of that quadrant should be number 6.
So he's pointing over at you furiously as these things kind of lock into place.
Okay.
As you put this one in place, it just settles nicely.
And then number 2 should go in the center of that one. That same section.
Mm-hmm.
Put number 2 between the B and the A.
Okay, I can do that.
As you do this, it turns blue and fizzles out.
No.
Well, then it goes below that next person.
All right, so
Really
Braso,
goes below that.
at this point we have, and we see 2 of these portals light up. Last turn, none of them did. This time, 2 of them light back up with these ghosts, and they are going to charge in. Go ahead and take your turn, sir.
Which, sir?
There, Dr. Hill.
Okay. I will put the 2 underneath of that one.
It settles in and fizzles blue.
Hmm. How could it be? I feel betrayed by Roscoe. All right.
Well, there's only 2 tiles left, and you put it in one, and you tried it in the other, and if it's not working, I already said this puzzle's broken. Because I'm sorry, but that number 9 in the bottom right quadrant, it can only go in that one spot that it turned blue and then disappeared. So
in that same spot, I will try the 8.
You're going to try the 8 where?
The same spot where you just went with the 2.
Okay. As you put this 8 in, it locks into place.
Bam. Ugh.
Now these ghosts are going to start making some attacks here. We've got 1 attack against, we got 1 attack against Campus and 3 against Huell. Jesus. Okay, so Campus, my friend, we've got a 15, followed by a 23.
Yup.
As that, okay, I think it's this images and maps that is too high. Let me try to fix this a little bit there. There we go. That's working a little bit better there. As that slashes in. And we have a lot of attacks here against our good friend Huell.
Ooh.
We've got a 17.
I shield. My AC is now 20.
Okay. A 23. 23 is going to get there for 5, followed by a 14. Not enough. Another slash coming in over the top of you for 7. Following that up with a 21 from behind, you can feel it kind of cut into you deeply for 8 more. And then finally, the last one here is going to go wide as well. Huell, what would you like to do, sir?
Let's see. Huell is going to kind of surrounded. Huell's going to drink his potion of invisibility.
You disappear. Feeling the cold slashes in on both sides of you, you disappear. Do you want to move?
Yeah.
They're not even going to attempt to attack you. Although they can probably see you. Campus, what would you like to do, sir?
Oh, what
You are
next?
getting quickly surrounded.
Number 3 in the hole. Number 3 in the hole.
Okay. I'll do as Roscoe instructs on the Sudoku. I'm trying
Between
to.
the fish and the bee, I think it's
Okay.
All right. Are you going to do another one, or are you going to turn and attack these guys?
Is it an action to do both? To move both, or is it an
Consider it a move and an action. So if you want to just turn and attack, you can do that as well. Or you could do another one of the puzzle pieces.
I'll take an attack against the one that's next to me. With
Wait a minute. There's
Natural 20.
Baby.
Fire it off, man.
13 points. Second attack is a 14 to hit for
14's not going to be enough. 14's not going to be enough. That brings us back over to Dr. Hill. Dr. Hill, as you're continuing to look at this and you can hear the battle kind of starting to pick up in ferocity behind you, you see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of these sigils light up.
Which ones light up?
The ghosts are actually out and onto the field.
Okay, gotcha. All right, I'm going to
as these things light up behind you. We're gonna stop it right there because we're about to hit 9 o'clock, at least our time. So that as these things, you're kind of digging on this puzzle. Huell has just disappeared and vanished to get the F out of there. Campus is quickly being surrounded with you. Roscoe is dead, and you guys are quickly being completely encompassed in these temple guardians.
There's 2 number 8s in that one quadrant.
Yeah, I noticed that too.
This puzzle's fucked.
No!
Axe.
Oh, man.
Mhm.
Oh, dear. Well, rip Roscoe. Can we get some Fs in chat for Roscoe, please?
R.I.P. Roscoe.
R.I.P. buddy. Blame Will Jones.
I
That's gonna be
blame
the
everyone
hashtag
except
all-
from Will.
All week.
Basically faultless in all of us.
He's just costing us so much art this season.
I didn't throw a fucking mammoth at him, Cody. All right.
That's true.
It's a CR6. What
I
level are you guys?
misread fucking fawns.
You're
That's what
6.
I did.
All right, guys.
Oh, dear.
Listen, we want to thank some sponsors. So huge shout out to Fantasy Grounds for being our virtual tabletop of choice. Of course, all the maps that you guys see here on the show tonight, next week, the week before that, all the maps on the show are built in Dungeon Painter Studio. And so we want to give a big shout out to those. You guys can go check them out at pyromancers.com. You guys got your asses kicked tonight. Got your asses kicked. Just going to throw that out there.
It was rough.
It's not hard to kick an ass of a player as a DM, though. So, like,
Well, it surprised me because I remember us very vividly having a chat, and we were like, "Oh, what class would you be? What class would you be? Oh, I'd be a bard. Jim, would you be a wizard?" You're like, "Yeah, I got a master's degree and all this." And then I'm like, "Oh yeah, Jim
what
will
does a
probably
master's degree have to do with being a wizard?
with a logic." Well, that's what your words, not mine, buddy. I mean, I was like, "Oh, cool. I'll throw a logic puzzle."
Would you
at it.
like
Not
for
like-
me to discuss the critical
Don't
theory of history or some shit? Then we
Don't
can
like
talk for
logic
hours,
puzzles.
man. I don't do fucking logic puzzles. I got other things that I do with my imagination. I fucking think up extra worlds and shit, not arrange symbols on a grid.
I was like, "Oh, this is gonna be right up his alley. He's gonna love the logic puzzle." And then you're like, "Fucking
math.
Sudoku math. I
Talking
was
about
like,
math?
"I've Never
It
done
is
this
math.
before."
There's some fucking numbers and shit here.
It is not. It's the as we can see the symbols. It's not math. It's not mathematical, buddy. But
Not sold. Not sold.
Medieval Minesweeper. That's
That was a failure of a persuasion roll, let me tell you.
all right. Well, guys, we will catch you next week for Save or Dice. Thanks for joining us. We'll catch you next time.
Bye.
Later.
Stay nerdy.